Your call has been forwarded to an.
There you go, bro. Try calling you back. And nothing's going on right now. Damn, bro. So I kind of got a. Let me make sure about it. Yeah, kind of got a little bit of a story. Not really though. Can't really say too much because it'll spoil the next surprise on this channel, I guess you can say. Hang on, let me switch the screen right here real quick. All right, there we go. Jordan, if you're watching, I try to call you back twice and it just goes straight to voicemail, bro. So I need you to let me know about that. There we go. Or maybe your phone is off or something like that. I don't know. All right. Shit, bro. That's crazy. All right, so that last stream, why can't I get back to the page I'm normally looking at? That last stream is still up. It actually works. I was just reading comments, the most boring stream ever, but this shit actually worked. Just at least what I did from there. So keep that in mind. Now we're going to try something else. So this one might not make it. But let me see something real quick. Let me see something. Oh, I got the same thumbnail and everything as the last one, so I'm gonna have to change that one up. Why can't I see the... Okay, there you go. That's what I'm looking for. Is that live? Yeah, it's live. It's live. All right, good. Is that live? Yeah, it's live. It's live. All right, good. Is that live? Yeah, it's live. It's live. All right, good. Shit, bro, I got car blocked, cock blocked, whatever you want to call it, blocked for absolutely no reason. Is that live? I was just about to buy the Dream Cash car. Dream Cash car. I've already hinted it in like previous videos and shit like that. And I had my eye on this car one, blocked, cock blocked, whatever you want to call it, blocked for absolutely right here for no like reason. About a day. I'm not gonna lie, but it's been on. Is that live? I was just about to buy 25. Well, the Dream about a month, almost a month. Dream Cash car. I've already hinted it in like previous videos. So long story short is, and I had my eye on car blocked, cock blocked, whatever you want to call it. He knew for what the Dream Cash car about a day. I'm not gonna lie, but it's been on. Is that live? I was just about to buy. I guess he was just like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna buy that shit for you." And he bought that shit, and
now he's flexing all
already
the
hinted it.
place. I was like,
Like,
all right,
previous
so
videos,
long
I
story
got,
short, he went a little bit better than your
I had
shit.
my
I got car
coworkers
blocked, friends,
blocked,
so you know how I do that. If I go for a car, that
what
shit
the
is
dream
dream
cash
cash
car
car
today.
today. Not gonna lie,
But it's been on.
he bought his shit.
I was
And
just
honestly,
about
he was
to
like,
buy.
I guess he was just like,
25
fuck it, I'm just gonna buy that shit before you.
I was just about
And
to
he
score
dream
on this
cashed
car
it,
right here.
and
Like,
now he's flexing all
already
the
hinted it.
place. I was
Like,
like, all right,
previous
all
videos,
long
I
story
got,
short, he went a little
waiting,
bit better than your shit.
waiting,
I got car
coworkers
blocked, friends,
blocked,
so you know how I do that. If I go for a car, that
what
shit
the
is like
dream
cash
cash
car
car
today.
today.
Yeah,
But it's been on.
He bought his shit. And honestly, he was like, I guess he was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy that shit before you.
I was just about
And
to
he
score on this
dream
car
cashed
right
it,
here.
and
Like,
now he's flexing all
already
the
hinted it.
place. I was
Like,
like, all right,
previous
all
videos,
long
I
story
got,
short, he went a little
waiting,
better than your shit.
waiting,
I got
waiting,
car
coworkers
blocked, friends,
blocked,
so
waiting,
anyway, yeah, I was
waiting,
eyeballing
waiting,
the
dream
dream
car.
car.
I had
That
one
shit
locked
like
right here.
cash
Yeah,
car today.
yeah,
Yeah,
next
lie.
thing you know,
He
it's been on.
he bought his shit. And honestly, he was like,
buy.
I guess he was just like,
Fuck
fuck it, I'm just gonna buy that shit
He's
before you.
I was just about
And
to
he
score
dream
on this
cashed
car
it,
right here.
and
Like,
now he's flexing all
already
the
hinted it.
place.
Like,
I was like, all right,
all
all
long
long
story
story
short,
short,
he
he
went a
went
little
better
better
than
than
your
your
shit.
shit.
I got car
Coworkers
blocked, friends,
blocked,
so
waiting,
anyway, yeah, I was eyeballing
waiting,
the
waiting,
dream car. I
waiting,
had one
waiting,
locked right here.
waiting,
Yeah,
waiting,
car today.
waiting,
Yeah,
waiting,
I don't have any headphones. I need to use. He bought his shit. And honestly, he was like, I guess he was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy that shit before you.
I was just about
And
to
he
score on this
dream
car
cashed
right
it,
here.
and
Like,
now he's flexing all
already
the
hinted it.
place.
Like,
All long story short, he went a little better than your shit. I got car blocked, friends, so anyway, yeah, I was eyeballing the dream car. I had one locked right here. Yeah, car today. Yeah, I don't have any headphones. I need to use. He bought his shit. And honestly, he was like, I guess he was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy that shit before you.
I was just about
And
to
he
score on this
dream
car
cashed
right
it,
here.
and
Like,
now he's flexing all
already
the
hinted it.
place.
Like,
All long story short, he went a little better than your shit. I got car blocked, bro. You can't use it. Yeah, I was eyeballing the dream car. I had one locked right here. Yeah, car today. Yeah, I don't have any headphones. I need to use. He bought his shit. And honestly, he was like, I guess he was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy that shit before you.
I was just about
And
to
he
score on this
dream
car
cashed
right
it,
here.
and
Like,
now he's flexing all the
already
place.
hinted it. Like,
All long story short, he went a little better than your shit. I got car blocked now, bro. You can't use it. Yeah, I was eyeballing the dream car. I had one locked right here. Yeah, car today. I don't have any headphones. I need to use. He bought his shit. And honestly, he was like, I guess he was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy that shit before you.
I was just about
And
to
he
score on this car right here. Like,
now he's flexing all the
already
place.
hinted it. Like,
All long story short, he
already
went a little better than your shit. I got car blocked now, bro. You can't use it. Yeah, I was eyeballing the dream car. I had one locked right here. Yeah, car today. I don't have any headphones. I need to use. He bought his shit. And honestly, he was like, I guess he was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy that shit before you.
I was just about to score on this car right here. Like,
now he's flexing all the
already
place.
hinted it. Like,
All long story short, he went a
already
little better than your shit. I got car blocked now, bro. You can't use it. Yeah, I was eyeballing the dream car. I had one locked right here. Yeah, car today. I don't have any headphones. I need to use. He bought his shit. And honestly, he was like, I guess he was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy that shit before you.
I was just about to score on this car right here. Like,
now he's flexing all the place.
already
All long story short, he went a little better than your shit. I got car blocked now, bro. You can't use it. Yeah, I was eyeballing the dream car. I had one locked right here. Yeah, car today. I don't have any headphones. I need to use. He bought his shit. And honestly, he was like, I guess he was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna buy that shit before you.
I was just about to score on this car right here. Like,
now he's flexing all the place. I don't know. We try to fix this shit real quick. I don't know why I can't just go fucking smoothly, but I don't know. We try to fix this shit real quick. There it goes. All right. I don't know why I can't just go fucking smoothly, but I don't know why I can't just go fucking smoothly, but all right, yeah, that's what it was. It was a TV. I don't know. We try to fix this shit real quick. Did you hear the part about the? There it goes. All right. Pick me up some headphones though. Go fucking smoothly, but yeah, I'm just kidding. I don't know why I can't just go fucking smoothly, but all right, yeah, that's what it was. It was a TV. I don't know. We try to fix this shit real quick. Did you hear the part about the? There it goes. All right. Pick me up some headphones though. Yeah, but it's good now, right? Smoothly, but yeah, I'm just kidding. I don't know why I can't just go fucking smoothly, but all right, yeah, that's what it was. It was a TV. I don't know. We try to fix this shit real quick. Did you hear the part about the? There it goes. All right. Pick me up some headphones though. Yeah, but it's good now, right? Smoothly, but yeah, I'm just kidding. I don't know why I can't just go fucking smoothly, but all right, yeah, that's what it was. It was a TV. I don't know. We try to fix this shit real quick. Did you hear the part about the? There it goes. All right.
pick me up some headphones.
Yeah, but it's good now, right?
You know, but yeah, I'm just kidding.
I don't know why I can't just go fucking smoothly, but yeah, that's what it was. It was a TV. I don't know. We try to fix this shit real quick. Did you hear the part about the? There it goes. All right. All right. I don't know, bro. Maybe you need to refresh the app or something like that. But it's playing fine right here. I don't know, bro. Maybe you need to refresh the app or something like that. But it's playing fine right here. Yeah, dude, I'm just kidding. I don't know why I can't just go fucking smoothly. But yeah, that's what it was. It was a TV. Yeah, it's fine, bro. It's not echoing anymore. That's my phone on the microphone. The fuck was that? Yeah, it's good now, bro. It's chilling. All right. Is it true that I can only watch other content creators? Is that what So only on YouTube or what? Hold on real quick. Let me see something real quick. Let me see something real quick. For the 12th. Oh, that's when you move in? Let me know, bro. Let me know what you need, I guess. All right, so you know how to change the location a little bit because might have some options here and there, but let me just we're gonna see. I'm still kind of testing to see what I can actually do as far as YouTube streaming, so they don't, you know, hit your boy with like copyright strikes and whatnot, you know. Damn, that's crazy. 4 grand, 205,000 miles is ridiculous. So we're gonna do a little bit of marketplace shopping right here. If you don't know, this is the best place you can. This is the best place to come to obtain any kind of good car deal, because nowadays used cars are retardedly expensive, and there's no going that route, at least anymore for me, because that's just a waste of money, period. But this is where I be saying, when I lock down when I go for a deal, it's a good one. It's definitely a good one. It's like that rare car that comes around every, I don't know, every month or so. 2 or 3 cars that come around a month. So it's like, damn, that's a extremely nice deal. But obviously the con about shopping on marketplace is that you never know if it's actually sold or not. You never know what it is until you actually get to it. Pictures and video may look nice, but you gotta drive it and all that good stuff. So, and then they can sell it on you. Even I've gotten to cars before, and there's people already there looking at them and shit, and they sold it before I could even look at it. It's like, damn, I drove all the way over here for nothing. But yeah, you know, there's I'm already seeing a few that kind of catch my eye a little bit. Not really for the price though. I just go see. I used to do this, shop for this one, but hang on. Now I'll probably the fuck. There you go. Sometimes you might find a good enough deal too. You just travel for that shit. Obviously, you want to make it make sense. You know, $2,000 car may not be worth traveling like 1,500 miles for, but I don't know. Depends on what it is, I guess. A lot of people look at this shit like these are all trash, junk cars. Not really. Every time I score one, it's always a good car, and then it ends up getting fucked up. But you know, either way, it was a good car to begin with, which is why I go for them. But all these, especially in this area that I picked, choice right now at the moment, they're all pretty trash. They don't, you know, like I wouldn't go over anything. Well, depending on what it is, but normally anything over 110,000 miles is the wrap. That's enough, you know. But it depends on like the motor and stuff like that, what kind of vehicle, the history of it all depends. But usually we're not going any higher than 110,000 miles, because that's just ridiculous right there. So I don't know, bro. It's not much I can I changed the location, yet it still seems like it's loading shit from my previous searches, even though it's from a different location. Oh, damn, look at those wheels on that shit. 136,000 miles, though, dude. I mean, I get it. All the money is it's a nice looking car from the exterior. All the money's in the wheels, though, for the most part. And I like that soft top, too. That Cavalier is nice. Real nice. Damn.
2000 though, so it's old as shit. But 120,000 miles for a V8, it's not bad at all. When we were doing free advertisement and shit. Look at the gaps in the front of this car. Look at that right there. Damn. I like that color scheme. I wish mine was that color. It's not bad. I like that. That white and tan or gold, whatever you want to call it. Oh, you just popped right up on my screen, bro. Look at this. I can't even hear. I'll move me out the way. There you go. Runs fine. Still a very solid car. So just from the lack of description details, I could probably already tell that that thing has like 200 and something thousand miles on it, which I don't give a fuck what kind of car it is. That's a lot. That's a lot of miles. Anything over 150 is a wrap. I don't give a fuck if it's a diesel, nothing like that. That's too much, bro. A 95 4Runner for $1,500. I don't know why I use this website. This is just something that I've been using for a while now, and I just kind of gotten used to it. All right, so we're just gonna stay right here on the home because I don't want to add a location for reasons. Not yet, at least. But that kind of doesn't make any sense because the pricing of these vehicles obviously have to do with their location for the most part. But either way, though, everything is still overpriced. Like this, 182,000 miles, bro, 13 grand. So like out the door, that's just probably like 15 grand. So now you're in 15 grand worth of debt for a V6 with 182,000 miles. That's a lot. Like, bro, why can't we go back 10 years ago to 2015 where shit was actually decently priced? Even then, it was expensive back then, but it's like now this shit is no joke, bro. Look at this, bro. 111,000 miles on a Prius. And 11 grand for that right there, bro. What the fuck, dude? That's crazy. $40 grand for an S-Class. Way past break-in miles right there. Break-in miles probably like 5,000 miles on that thing. The V6. Whoa, dude, this right here. This was your DoorDasher, Uber, Lyft, all in one, and still take an 8-hour shift type vehicle right here. Look at that, 170,000 miles. GT too, so it's damn. The cute little 3.6 in there. This is some scary shit, bro. Like I could imagine, like this was the actual truck I was going for. This is the 12th generation right here from 09 to 14. And there's a reason why I went with the 11 because it's like your average difference in pricing. It's like 5 grand between the 11 and the 12 gen, and it's like, damn, this shit right here. This shit just about. This is like a couple $100 less than what I paid for that red one, and it's got like 60,000 miles more with a tinier engine in there. That's crazy. But you know, this is yeah, fuck that. Forever cash car type action from here on out because this is some sad shit right here. Try to lock one down today, but the fool just blocked me for no reason. I sent him like 3 replies, and that's it. And that's basically it. It's like, damn. We texted back and forth like 3 times, and then the fool just on some fucking weird ass shit. But whatever. $68,000 miles for real? Oh, that's it. That's 2,000. I thought that was a 11 gen truck. Never mind. It's a GT. What is that? A 4.6? Is that what those are? Those 2004 Mustangs? Is it yeah, it's 4.6. Yep. I was gonna say 2004 Ford Mustang. 2004 just seems to be the fucking year. Oh, look at those seats, dude. They're pretty ugly. And it's a manual too. That's pretty cool. For some reason, 2004 just seems to be the year for all. I've had like this would, if I would have had that car, it'd probably be like my third 2004. But I guess it's a good year for cars. It's a really good year. I was gonna say $5,000 is a little too steep for that, but that 4.6, I don't know, dude. I would pretty much nowadays just kill for a motor like that. That's like the best V8 that's ever been put in pretty much any car, bro. That thing is bulletproof as shit. That 4.6 V8, I'd exchange the 4.6 for my 5.4. Same amount of miles, wear and tear, and everything. I'm just saying, you know. Remember, I used to have this car right here. Yep. Should have just kept that fucking car the whole time, bro. Probably would have like 60-something thousand miles on it by now. But that's my very first car right there. I financed it, at least. It's like in this city, bro. Like I mean, especially with this city, it just looks like everybody has just accepted the fact that they're going to be stuck in debt their whole life, driving shit like this right here. And it's like fucking $60,000 for this shit, bro. Oh, it's gas in California too, Glendale, California. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, look at the trees. You can see the tree right there in the reflection and shit. Yep. Slide to the junkyard for seats. Yeah. Just did that not too long ago. Put a car back together. I should have recorded. I recorded a little bit of that. I think I'll actually make a video of that sometime soon. But let me get a better camera right here, a 4K camera. Actually, fuck it. I'll just use the one that I use. I use my actual camera. That should be all right. I'm already having a hard enough time finding where to park everything I have now. But I still feel like I need at least like 2 more, bro. I need at least like it's either. So one of them I already know what it is. I mean, I was just looking at a couple of them just now, but I'm not gonna spoil it, even though I already kind of did a little bit. It's gotta be at least one of those V8 2-wheel drive unknown vehicles. I'm just leave it at that. And then after that, either a motorcycle or a ES330, whatever. It's some type of old, nice Lexus. It's got to be, you know. Even though I don't look like I drive a Lexus, but it's gotta be. So like for sure number 4 spot, and then the other spot, the 5th spot. I don't know. Who knows? See, I just like this setup right here, but the miles and the money is just not. Oh, a 5-liter V8 though. Nah, still not worth it. It's still not worth it, bro. I mean, if you want, you could just accept debt right here and just grab this right here. That's all you really need for life right here. If you trust the reliability enough for these newer vehicles and shit, there you go. Just get you one of these and just literally blend in with everybody else on the road. Nothing special about it. Not really, at least, just a regular ass crew cab, 5.7 bed, a fossil of a V8. Shit's been around longer than automobiles have even existed type shit. But at least you got a depreciating asset that helps you blend in with the rest of the society and shit. You know? Type shit, you know? Obviously not going to look at all 470 whatever of these vehicles, but I mean, dude, I'm just really fascinated on how the car market fluctuates and all that shit, especially since I made that video about losing 15 grand in a year. Man, that was the biggest like L I've ever taken, ever will take. Of course, it's my fault. You know, you invest in a Chrysler. What else do you think is going to fucking happen? But, you know, it is what it is. It's all good, though. That was my fault. Shouldn't have done that shit. At least it could have been a Ford or something. It felt a lot better. That's fucking crazy, dude. 100,000 miles and they still want Miami, Florida. Oh shit, for real, for real. And they still want basically 35 grand for this thing. Wow. That's crazy. Ain't no way. There is no way. It's sad, bro. It's like all this basically generational type debt, you know, like their car prices are rising, but the quality is lowering. It's like it doesn't make any sense. Everything's all nice when it's working fine and functioning properly and still looking pretty much new like this, but I see those TikTok videos and shit, those mechanics, they dive deep down into the engine and shit and rip all that apart and cylinders knocking and whatnot, and they got to reshape the walls of the dude, it's scarier than you think. Shit like this, like, it was supposed to be a pretty good invention, but it turns out nobody wants an electric truck, which, I mean, who knew that would be a surprise, right? You know, you're literally defeating the purpose of a pickup truck. Why would you want some electric shit? That makes no sense. Shit you got to plug in and charge for about 2-3 hours or so on a road trip, right? You're pulling a heavy load when you could just fill up a tank in like not even a couple of minutes and you're good to go. It just doesn't make any sense, you know? And then electric cars were supposed to be the future. It's supposed to be a lot more affordable for the average American and shit like that. And the next thing you know, like pretty much the average electric vehicle is some type of fancy EV truck or something like that, Hummer, whatever. And that shit is like starting price 80 grand. It's like, nice. That makes. Says something about an LS. I don't know where you're no, let me see where you're. Make sure I can find your shit. Oh, right here. Bro, I'm not really a fan of showing the location right now, but fuck it, whatever. I've seen this one too, by the way. Well, not seen it in person, but nah, see, I mean, nah, bro. Even this shit right here, 124,000 miles. Fuck, dude, that's like. Anyway, 124,000 miles. listed a year ago. Nice. So it's probably not even real anyway. Somebody probably definitely already bought that by now. I would say $3,000, $3,000 even. Not I wouldn't even really want to offer that because it's I didn't even pay $3,000 for for this shit for my LeSabre, but whatever. What did I just see? I just saw this shit. I don't know why I couldn't find it. Damn, bro. One of these might be worth it though, bro. Even though he got a flat in the front. But this was like the childhood like hero car right here. I remember that. That was a nice one. Okay, let's go back to this. That's where I was just at right here. Look at a few more pages real quick, and then I got something else in mind. Oh, like this right here. This 662 horsepower, 5.8 liter. Damn. America's #1 fishtailer, bro. Look at that. And that's one of the best Mustang body styles ever right there, bro. 2014. A little 2011 through 14 or whatever it was. Just as long as you know how to drive them shits, and it's a 6-speed manual too. Damn. I love how they advertise these cars right here. These the Charger and the Challenger GTs. It's literally, I used to work as a salesperson at a Dodge dealership. I know. Literally, the only thing you get when you upgrade to the GT from the SXT, which is the base trim level, is these bumpers. The bumpers, front, rear, the side skirts, I think the hood a little bit too, and then the wheels. That's it, bro. You literally have the exact same engine as the SXT. I don't care what anybody says. It's the same shit. There's no upgraded like power or whatever. It's the same base model 3.6 you get in the SXT. The GT package just gives you a sportier look, and that's it. That's all you get, bro. So you basically just wasting your money if you get the GT. There's no point in that. I used to be a salesperson at a Dodge dealership. I don't care what I mean, come on, man. Like Chrysler, Stellantis, Mopar, whatever you want to call them. They obviously try to sell you the oldest shit possible forever as long as they possibly can, which is why the Dinosaur 3.6 liter V6 and the 5.7 is just basically their only two engines, the 6.2. And bro, it's a lot of old shit, and there's nothing. That's the GT is just basically just a regular ass fucking SXT. There's nothing special about it. You just get the sporty look, and that's it. I don't care what anybody says, bro. We used to be in the back whipping up the sales deals, bro. I already know, and that shit was whack. So I hated being that bad guy salesperson, which is what every sales guy is a criminal. But either way, though, yeah, sales managers be like, yo, just get them through the door, bro. Just get them through the door. Don't worry about getting them approved. Just get them through the door and shit. And I used to hate that shit because I already know, like, by the way, I'm talking to the customer on the phone and shit like that. We would know. It's like, fuck, dude, I don't want to waste this person's time and shit. They taking the bus and shit like that to get here, bro. They Ubering. It's a $50 ride to get here type shit, It's just like, I hated that shit. So we were some criminals. I ain't gonna lie. But anyway, besides that shit, yeah, that GT package is nothing, bro. It's not even really worth it. But I got a lot of sales story. I wasn't even in there for about a year, but I already knew I could crack a lot of shit. There's a lot of salesperson lingo I know about. Still got some fools trying to grind it out there, and I don't know why. They're struggling even worse than we were back then when we were actually trying to go strong at it. But it's what it is, though. Fuck it, They got hope. I was just like, nope. I think it's definitely true what a lot of mechanics say. At least a few mechanics. It's kind of funny too, because like you would think, you know, you look at your average mechanic, you would think like the older ones are smart enough to drive some type of like some clunker or something like that, some little beat up cash car or whatever, or not too bad, you know, not like tape on the windows and all that stuff. But I mean, trash bags on the windows and shit. But those are the older mechanics are the ones that have the car notes. It's crazy. All the younger guys, everybody else, you know, 30s and under, they got little cash cars and shit, but the motherfuckers about to retire and shit, but they still got plenty of mortgage left. They got the $800, $900 car payments. It's like, what the fuck, dude? That's crazy. I don't get it, bro. Motherfuckers is buying new cars all over the place right now. I mean, this one dude bought a base model work truck, but still, it's like, what, like 45 out the door, and that's like 900 something a month. Damn, that's already a mortgage right there. At least back 20 years ago, shit. See, for some reason, this actually looks like a pretty good deal right here. Anyway, for some reason, this looks like a pretty good deal right here. I mean, at least for today's market, it's not bad. So 126,000 miles. I mean, yeah. I don't know too much about Accords or whatever, but 2.4 is probably similar to the 2.5 that's in the Ultimas and stuff. I know about the Ultimas. I used to have one. So, you know, it could be a good car, maybe, pretty much. These Tacomas hold their value for whatever reason. I do hope that's not the case with this new generation of Tacoma, because they are literally, I mean, they were already giant piles of plastic, but now they're even worse piles of plastic. And, you know, engineer tactics these days is to make the car as cheap as possible while selling it as put in the most expensive price that they can justify as they can. And I mean, dude, we got base model work truck Tacomas, brand new, like 38, 40, 41. It's like with nothing but just black bumpers and white paint. It's like, that's crazy, dude. $15 years ago, you can get a pretty much fully loaded F-150 for that price. What the fuck kind of special shit is this right here? There's a 6.2 in that shit? How the fuck? Is it factory? Oh, I don't like the little ugly ass short little tiny bed, dude. You know what I do with this? With trucks like these, I would trade. Like if I had to sacrifice one or the other, I would just get the extended cab with the doors that come out the suicide way, just so I can have my 6-foot bed. I mean, obviously you can get the crew cab and the 6-foot bed. I'm just saying though, if I had to have one or the other, like either this crew cab with the 5.7 or the 6-foot with the extendo, I would 6-foot extendo all day. It's just a more evenly proportioned truck. Not only that though, obviously, but I mean, I'm still a pretty firm believer of, you have a truck, it's probably for a reason, right? So you have a cute little bed like this, ain't much you can really do before you have to leave that tailgate open, and then it's considered a unsecure load and shit, you know? So it's just like, shit, either get a trailer or just admit that this shit is useless as fuck, other than you could probably get like maybe a few U-Haul boxes and some Walmart grocery bags and shit like that back there before you have to, you know, and maybe some back here too, because I noticed a flat load floor on this generation of truck. But either way, though, you know what I'm saying? These are, I think these are some aftermarket towing mirrors as well too. Just looks like it. Because I don't know. There's not even like a light how there usually would be. Maybe there's one underneath or whatever, but this is a rare ass truck right here, dude. The 6.2. This is the motor that they put in some of the Raptors and shit. Damn, dude. I don't know. Oh wait, let me look at the 130. That's 6.2. That's not terrible. For 20 grand, it is terrible. That price needs to come down a little bit to about maybe like 16 or 17, but yeah, that's not that's not bad at all. Oh, you got some dings here and there and stuff, and it's whatever. It's a truck. See, that's why I had to simplify life a little bit. You know, I used to be like, well, I am still sort of kind of a fanatic about, you know, oh, this ding here, this scratch there, and all that shit, you know. And I realized it was kind of a waste of time, money, and energy and shit like that to be that way. So I got rid of all the new fancy, you know, glamorous cars and shit like that, and just started buying shit that was already pre-fucked up from factory and shit. You know, hail damage, scratches, dings, you know, all that shit, paint fading, shit like that. So you don't really have to worry. Not too bad, obviously, but shit where you don't have to worry about, okay, it's already kind of fucked up, so you really got to worry about it. Especially moving to a even dirtier and, you know, more hazardous city, it pretty much almost makes it impossible to, you know, be a fanatic. So it's like, well, better off doing it like that anyways, you know. So stop worrying about your shiny paint and shit like that. It's just gonna get fucked up regardless, you know, unless you just keep that shit inside all day long, which is pretty impossible, especially with the infrastructure that we're dealing with right now at the moment. But, you know, either way, it is what it is. I do envy the shit out of these 12th generation F-150s though, because it's like, I'm always thinking about, after I saw that Motor Trend commercial about these 12th gen F-150s where they extended so if you actually, even like the smallest little details like this, I just go crazy over. But anyway, if you actually kind of like paid attention to the proportions of this truck right here, you can tell that from this angle right here, you can tell that the 11th gen and the 12th gen are a little bit different, especially with this area right here. It's because they stretched out, as far as like lengthwise, at least they stretched out the cab of the truck. So that's why, like on my truck, the 11th generation, it's a little shorter. It's because they added 6 inches to the overall cab length in this particular truck. And some people ask why. A couple of people have asked, like coworkers and shit, why did you? What's the big deal about this 12th generation truck to you? Well, number one is that I don't know anybody in the family or anywhere who's had one of these. I've never been close to anybody that's had a truck like this, the 12th generation. So I was like, damn, I want to be the first. And then you know, it's just, I don't know, it's just, that was like the main priority. And then after that, it was the size of it's a little bit longer than the last generation truck, and it's the last. Just a couple of fun facts about it. It's the last steel body F-150 before they went to the aluminum. You can't put no magnets on it and shit like that type shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn. It's the first F-150 with the steps with the step right here, even though it was kind of ugly because the bar was literally compromising some of the utility of the tailgate. But, you know, it is what it is though. Still got your backup sensors and all that stuff. And then I think this was like the F-150 that had the most variety of engines, I think. Or maybe it's the current one now, because you got all those little lunchbox 4-cylinders and V6s and all that stuff with your plastic oil pans and whatnot. But damn, this one right here would definitely be, I didn't even know this regular F-150 could have a, look at that 6.2 in there, bro. Was it like 400 horsepower or something like that? Damn. Imagine how that shit sound, like straight from, buy this shit straight to the exhaust shop. That would be that'd be nice. But yeah, that's my obsession over the 12th generation, which, I mean, knock on wood, but if my 11th ever gives out, I'll either replace it with one of those or just put another engine or whatever it needs in there, because trucks are expensive as shit anyway, and I do not plan on making any more payments ever again, because it's just a waste of money and time anyway. Shit is overrated as shit. But at least they got my credit up on point, right? Even something like this is kind of like the dream right here, you know. I hope this is at least a diesel. Is it a diesel or not? What the fuck? Okay, we'll find out if it's a diesel. Yeah, it is a diesel. Okay, cool. But 100,000 miles, though, is crazy, though, dude. Not for no 43 grand. I was gonna say that's still. Yeah, shout out to Trenton in the chat. I just noticed him right there. You gotta look at this other screen to see both chats right there, but I appreciate you for commenting. I'm pretty sure it gets the engagement up on the stream anyway. But yeah, bro, that I didn't know that. It's something that I've learned. I'm a huge Ford guy, obviously, and it's something I learned is that the 6.2 existed in something else but the Raptor pickup truck, and that's pretty cool. Speaking of Raptor, look at that right there. But it's still a $30,000 truck basically with 150,000 miles on it. I like to round up because, especially if you finance, just look at this price right here and just like go ahead and just tax about like $3 grand on there. Especially depending on where you're at. You're gonna definitely be expecting a higher initial price, especially when you sign and shit like that. But yeah, bro, there's no, damn, this shit depreciated like crazy. Look at this shit. A 23 Armada? It's only 34 grand. I'm pretty sure brand new was like 60 or 80, something like that. Pretty close. 54,000 miles though. Damn. That don't look too good. Look at this shit. These are shits that just don't lose their value right here, man. This is New York too. LS 460 right here with 182,000 miles on it. Yeah, and they still want 10 grand. That is fucking ridiculous, dude. CVT axles probably. Well, no, this probably don't have CVT axles because rear wheel drive. No, never mind. Oh yeah, it is rear wheel drive. Yeah, never mind. Doesn't have drive axles. I mean CVT axles on it, but damn, dude. Be a nice car for a lower price though. There's another 6.2 right here. Probably obviously not the one that was in the F-150, but yeah, those were nice right there. The last front engine Camaros, Corvettes. Those are cool. Yeah, these right here. I seen these. Fucking the timing chain is not even a timing chain. It's a rubber belt that's soaking in oil the whole life. Well, not the whole life of the car, but it's a rubber timing belt in place of the timing chain that's supposed to be that it's obviously a more a smarter way to engineer a motor at least. And yeah, I've seen these are like basically just live long enough to survive the warranty, and then after that you just whatever the fuck happens is it's pretty much on you. It's your fault for buying that fucking piece of plastic and shit. Probably got plastic oil pans on it too and shit like that. That was Oh damn, this is a little reminiscent right here, bro. I used to have something like this, not really, but something like this. This is what lost. This is what This is basically the type of vehicle, I guess, that lost me 15 grand in a year, bro. 15 grand worth of value lost in a year. Now this shit is beat the shit up. This shit is clapped out, which makes sense because it's a tradesman's work truck. But mine was a brand new extended cab with, so you got the little cute little door, just how I like pickup trucks set up. Cute little door in the back, and then your 6-foot bed is still back there. It was a classic, and then it had the chrome appearance and the towing right there. That's about it. Same cute little V6 engine I was getting roasted about all the time, and it had nicer wheels on there too. These are some ugly ass wheels, but it was basically my shit was a brand new work truck, and apparently I thought it was just because of the state and city I moved from. You know, they're more of a fan of 4-wheel drive vehicles here, and that was a 2-wheel drive truck. No, it wasn't just the move. It was just like the entire car market in general just said I lost about 15 grand in value in a year. Not even like 4,000 miles. So yeah, really should probably kept it. It would have made more sense because you already lost the money. Might as well just go ahead and just keep the vehicle. But you know, whatever. Damn, bro, this right here. This is not even fair. 20 grand for 100,000 miles on this Ranger, and this is the Mexican Ranger too. They're not even. This is not what it used to be Ranger. This is the Mexican plastic Ranger right here. And they still want 20 grand. Like the shit is actually gonna last that long. It's crazy. With the little 2.3 cylinder motor in it. Come on, man, dude. That's crazy. Should take that turbo off and just see how much power it has. Probably feels weaker than the 3.0. But whatever. It is what it is though. I'm actually a fan of these. Like I always made fun of General Motors and their SUV lineup is like, what's the difference between a base model Escalade and a fully loaded high country Tahoe? It's like, what's the difference other than, you know, the face and the rear taillights and the Cadillac badge and the bow tie? It's about it. But this one right here would probably be what I'd probably go for the Yukon because it just looks better, and since we're talking about looks and shit. And I love these wheels right here. These snowflakes, the chrome ones are nice. The black ones are ugly as shit. But if we had to choose from all three, the GMC, Chevy, or Cadillac, yeah, I'd go with the GMC. It's just not even the look what we got in the background right here, dude. Look at that right there. Look at that. Hopefully we see one of those. But even with the facelift, the updated ones that they got out now, the 2025 ones, because all they did was just elongate the headlights a little bit, and that's about it. Can't really do much else. But yeah, I actually those GMCs look pretty nice. I used to work at a GMC dealership too. Shit was trash, but you know, it is what it is. At least they have free coffee, you know. Yeah. I mean, it's just always nice to just to see how good we had it, you know? Good we had it back then. Like, this is ridiculous, dude. 150,000 miles basically. And they still want 13 grand for it. Like that's like Facebook type shit right there. That might be a private seller right there. Asking for an outrageous price like that. What, dude? Like 13 grand for this shit? It's almost blown out. And it's a 5.3. Yep. Come on, man, dude. Those 5.3s have all kinds of problems, dude. Like what? It's just nobody ever talks about it for some reason. I don't know why. People think that's a good engine. Yeah, see, that's why something about see. I don't know what the issue is and why these 12th gens hold their value. Maybe it's because of what I already mentioned, but these 12 gens right here, they stick right here under the 20,000 mile. I mean 20,000, the 20 grand price tag. They're right here, and I don't get it. I don't understand why. Even with 150,000 miles on it, it's still like 17 grand. It's like, damn, dude. I'm surprised this shit's not worth more. Got a steeper price tag on it than this. 36 grand is pretty cheap for something that's got all this shit on it right here. That's crazy. That's a lot of shit. Yeah, bro, I gotta turn my head this way a little more so I can actually communicate with the chat. But I kind of want to turn on the AC, but I feel like it's gonna make the microphone echo again. Anyway, yeah, the next generation Rangers, they're holding value for some reason. I don't really get it. Something like this would be cool right here, but this is ridiculous, dude. What is going on here with the 43 grand for this van right here? I mean, and it's Missouri too. Let me see how many 26,000 miles, 43 grand for this. Damn, dude. And it's a 2014 too. I heard that shit. They're talking about the Express lineup is getting a new generation, which, I mean, it doesn't really matter because they're just pretty much fleet vehicles for the most part. But, and I heard that rumor a long time ago, by the way. This was like damn near 6 months ago. But they're supposed to be getting like an update, like a next generation of those Express vans and shit. Dude, why is this one holding its value so much? It's got a 5.3 in there, but like I just said, they're not as impressive as you might think. They're okay, but anyway, 11-year-old truck, van, whatever, and it's still 40. Damn, dude. And it's not even like a setup to where you would where most people would buy these, because it's probably like, the reason why they hold value so much is probably like, oh, a lot of people like, mobile businesses and shit like that. It's like, well, this shit has still got windows on it, so it's not even really, you want something with a mobile business, you want something that's just got the solid walls already as it is, then you got to cover up the windows and shit. It's like, damn, dude, I don't know. I don't get why this one is got such a heavy price tag on it. It's kind of crazy. Ford Maverick right here. Do not expect anything more than a crossover with like the back cut off of it, because this is not a truck at all. I've already seen like crash videos where this shit just folds into like a taco. It's just no spine. It's just a freaking. It's basically an Eco Sport, whatever you want to call those things, or a Ford Escape, with just this part right here cut off, so you can use it as a bed, and that's about it. It's pretty funny. But other than that, maybe if it was more of a truck, but it doesn't make sense because there's a reason why they're supposed to be cheap, even though this one's 31 grand, which is ridiculous. But is what it is nowadays. People don't really give a fuck as long as they got a truck bed, quote unquote. Is what it is. Like I said, you could throw you a couple U-Haul boxes and some Walmart bags in there, and shit, you're good to go. I can't even believe they make like the camper shells and the tonneau covers for that little tiny ass 2 foot, 3 foot, whatever, 4 foot bed. But I mean, to each their own, right? It is what it is. Yeah, pretty. I mean, I've seen a few. Like, I think I'll probably start pointing it out, like something that's a pretty decent deal,
but there's not very many of them. It's like it was just enough for me to actually not point shit out, because why? What's the point? Like, you'd look at something like this and think it's a good deal. I actually do think it's a good deal, but there's probably a reason why this shit is so cheap. 13 grand. And where is it? Arkansas? Oh, Ohio and shit. 65,000 miles. That's actually, I mean, if you want to go home feeling like you actually got a pretty decent deal, not really worried about the long-term liability and shit, then yeah, you go ahead and get this shit, or something like this shit right here. This is actually, this is a little bit, like 15 grand for this shit. Yeah, nah, dude. Like, I guarantee you, I can go on Marketplace right now and find this CRV with the same amount of mileage and pay like 6 grand for it. Probably like 6 grand for that shit. That's crazy right there. Oh, look, it just showed up again. Yeah, I bet you I can definitely find one. Maybe not in the same state or whatever, but that's, yeah, 15 grand for that. That's ridiculous, dude. I could buy one for 6. There's no reason for that. This car right here. I remember this car when I was helping my mom shop for a BMW, and it was a tie between this or the M3, the 330 whatever's. And I was like, she was asking for my help and stuff like that, my advice, and I was like, wait a minute, why is this even a comparison? Like, this is a fairly new design of a car, like all new blueprint from the ground up, you know? And then the 330, that thing is as old as the beginning of time. So as much as I want to play the adventurous route and just go with something that's new, I think for however long you decide to have this car, because she's really thinking about just keeping her 21 330 that we chose over one of these for a long time. So I was like, yeah, you might want to go with that 330, because that car is, well, it's more proven than this right here. This 2 Series right here, you know, it's got you open the door and there's no actual seal along the window. It's just a window and shit like that, you know, just kind of scares me for the long-term reliability of it. Ironically enough, right? But yeah, shit like that could start to leak and whatnot. So I was like, nah, don't get this 2 Series right here. Just stick with the shit that's already been around for a while, because at least, oh, look at that 3 Series right here. Old as shit, but yeah, it was either they're both the same year model too, 2021s. I was like, yeah, good, or something like this. This was the 5 Series, but this is just like basically the same car. It's not really much of a difference between size, which it's supposed to be. You know, 2 Series, 3 Series, 5 Series, but shit it's just a car, bro. Just whatever. You know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, you know? Everybody, like, bro, I have like 2 coworkers that have these joints right here. Austin, Texas, this one, yeah, two work. One just got one. His is a 2018, and he loves the shit out of that damn thing, bro. He swear he's stunting and shit. And then there's another one, another guy I work with. He's got one. It's like this. It's an old one like this, but he shares it with his wife, even though they already have like 8 vehicles and shit. So, this, I'd love to have one of these too. First thing I do is straight pipe shit out of it. But you know, other than that, and white too. They both have black ones. I'd get a white one. I'd pull up in a white one all day with the same interior color like this. Yeah, but they love them though. They love these. I thought it was a GX. There's a difference between a GX and an LX 570, but they're both these big ass Lexus with the 5.7 V8s in there. So, but yeah, the one that just recently got his is newer, 2018. That shit is nice. He almost let me drive it too. That's crazy. But it is weird. Oh, look at this. Look what we got here.
I was a sales. I sold one of these off the showroom floor when I was a salesperson, bro. I partied like a bitch that night, dude. I sold 2 cars. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Being a salesperson was nice. I'm not gonna lie. It was. I mean, it was fun, but I feel like I was wasting a gang of time, dude. I was wasting, bro. It wasn't like, I don't know, bro. It felt like I was wasting. It was fun, but it wasn't like getting straight to the money or the point. Like, I mean, I guess you can't really expect that, these days. You don't have like privileges like a certain gender does. But anyway, being a salesperson was cool, but it's just like, dude, that shit was not. It's not as glamorous as like all these influencers on TikTok and Instagram Reels and shit like that. Be like, oh, it's because see, these dudes are older and shit. The fools that try to give you advice on how to sell cars and shit like that on the internet, these motherfuckers are like 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and 110 years old, right? And it's like, dude, you can't use your same sales tactics as you did back in the day. Talk about something like when cars was like new cars were like 16, 11 grand and shit like that. Nowadays they look like this is a used car's price right here. It's 43 grand, dude. It's like, what the, bro, it's not even close to me. That's why I never really listen to them. Obviously the sales managers will help you as best as they can, even though a lot of them expect you to already know what you're doing, even though it'd be your day one and shit, bro. Sales, I'm telling you, it's all rigged. It's a rigged ass system. Each dealership already has their 2 or 3, maybe 4 chosen ones, and there's a reason why they get most of the sales in the entire dealership. But anyway, I'm not gonna. I might get this stream might get taken down because of the shit I'm saying right now, so I'll have to calm down a little bit. But anyway, it was all right though. It was cool. There's a reason why I wasn't even in there for about a year, bro. Probably 8-9 months at the most. I was already at that dealership. I just wanted to go into sales because motherfuckers was hyping me up and shit. And I quickly realized that shit, dude, it's a system. There's a reason why, like, you'll go in there and you'll see, like, because every dealership has this board where, like, they mark off every time you sold a car for the whole month and shit. And it's like, you bro, if you wanna try that shit, go ahead. I'm telling you right now, I already got stories. I already know how that shit works. But anyway, I sold this one. So it's like, but Saturdays is killed or be killed, bro. Like, everybody fighting to get some sales on Saturdays. All the salespeople, everybody and their mama there, pretty much from open to close. You could wear a full suit if you wanted to, just to see if you can get more. Bro, motherfuckers was cutting up on Saturdays, bro. It was fun though. I ain't gonna lie. LX is the Land Cruiser. GX is the 4Runner with the V8. Huh. Well, they both got the Lexus, the one I just showed right now, but one of them is 2018, a newer one, and then he's got an older one. Another coworker has an older one. I mean, he shares it with his wife, even though they got like 8 fucking cars and shit. But anyway, the sales and shit like that. So, one Saturday, and I was still a green pea too. It's what they call you when you're new in the sales experience and all that shit. They call you a green pea for the most part. And motherfuckers was hating on me that day, bro. I don't even know. I just came like how I normally do. I was like, shit, either I'm gonna sell or I'm not gonna sell, bro. If you don't sell shit, if you don't even get a customer in front of you for that whole day, bro, you're gonna get roasted. You're gonna get roasted regardless. But if you don't have any customers in front of you for the whole day, it's, bro, you like triple times. Like, you're not even invited to the club afterwards type shit. But me, I was just like, shit, bro. I already had, so they want you to like make appointments and shit like that and stir up some traction in the dealership and shit like that. So I usually got like 2 or 3 customers a day type shit. It's just like if they want to flake on me or not. But this weekend, bro, I don't know what it was, but I sold 300. I had an appointment. Sold a brand new 300 off the showroom, just like that, bro. By the time I look back, it was like, because we opened like 8 or something like that. And by the time I look back, it was like, okay, I got 1 car out the way. It's 1 o'clock, about 1, 2 o'clock and whatever. Next thing you know, I turn around, bam, like, bro, motherfuckers be like sharks and shit. As soon as the customer enters the front door, everybody running up to the front door. Just, bro, his motherfucker standing at this standing as soon as you hop out the car from the parking lot, bro. Motherfuckers just right there in your window and shit, talking about some trying to steal everybody's customers and shit. But I just happened to be in the right place at the right time as my other customer, my first customers in finance. This dude was just looking at this this couple, his wife, this guy and this wife were looking at one of these on the showroom. And I just so happened to be there, and I'm still not even really sure what the fuck I'm doing. I mean, I know how to describe the vehicles and stuff like that, but you know, as far as like actually like the hardest part of selling cars is the negotiating and stuff like that. Like, but this couple was so smooth, bro. They were just like, we don't give a fuck what it is. We just want the room and shit. So I'm just like, all right, well, we can this couple was in the showroom just walking around. I don't know how the fuck I was the only one that approached them, or maybe I wasn't or whatever, but I was like, hey, can I help you guys out? You know, whatever. And they're like, yeah, we're looking for this and that and something like that. Maybe a Grand Cherokee or some shit. And I'm just like, oh, okay, cool. And then I was like, hold on, let me get a sales manager over here. So, you know, basically that's me saying, let me see if I can get somebody to help me persuade you into buying something today. Because that's, fingers crossed, that's what you obviously want to do. You're a salesperson. And, so before I can actually like go walk and go find somebody real quick, because my dumb ass, knowing that somebody would probably steal my customer, they were like, hey, wait a minute, we like this black thing right here on the showroom is one of these. It was a shorter, it wasn't this long ass one right here, it was a shorter one. And they were like, we want to see about this one and shit like that. Oh, I was like, okay, cool, yeah, let's go to my desk real quick and shit like that, and you know, sit down here so nobody will steal you. And then, you know, we can talk about, you know, shit like that, get you approved and all that good stuff. See, I'm already kind of getting back into the jam and shit like that, bro. I ain't gonna lie, it was fun. It was fun, but that shit just wasn't, bro, it was time consuming shit, bro. It wasn't worth it. And I was like, all right, so, bro, anyway, long story short, though, before you know it, I sold two brand new cars. I had that showroom looking empty as fuck. Motherfuckers was hating, bro. I'm telling you. Motherfucker, but even the top sales, because everybody be there on the weekends pretty much. Sometimes, you know, you could take days off depending on how good you're doing in sales, but on the weekends, bro, motherfuckers just running all around and shit, bro. It's like, oh shit, dude, we gotta get some sales going on. It was fun, I ain't gonna lie. And then they at least the dealership I worked at, they catered to everybody, all the salespeople on the weekends. So we'd like, all right, what do y'all want, bro? You know, and then they get like this big ass, like, just, you know, Chicken Express or whatever, Chicken Express. That shit was nice. I love that shit but somebody would have to either like flip a coin or roll the dice on whoever has to go pick that shit up in their own car and shit. But bro, that shit was the days, boy, back in the day. Anyway, so yeah, bro, I partied like a fucking idiot that damn night, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. I don't think that was the night where my glasses flew off on the freeway, but it was a good story, bro. Good. I might go into detail a little bit later, depending on how the stream does. But you know, because I don't want to get blocked or whatever we want to call it. But I don't want the stream to not be available for you know, the actual site and shit. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, bro, that's some good shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I almost cleared that. It was still a few cars left on that showroom floor, but motherfuckers was hating, bro. They was mad as shit. I don't even know how I did that shit. I was like, damn. Sold 2 cars off the showroom floor, dude, and I wasn't even really trying to, because you know I didn't have my hopes up back then, and that shit just wouldn't. But it was that's what this is always going. This one and a Chrysler 300S with the V8 in it. Sold that 300 to some Arab dude and with his son, and he was like, make sure this kid gets a nice tip or whatever, something like that. He was a pretty cool dude. I still got the picture of him. I don't think I got a picture. I tried to get a picture with everybody I sold a car to, but I don't think I got a picture of the couple that I got a video of me pulling this thing off the showroom when I sold it, though. It was late as fuck, dude. I thought I was going to be late for the club because it was on Saturday. Bro, man, I missed some days. I ain't gonna lie, bro. So Saturday, you got a full day pretty much. And then you had just enough time to get ready for the club and then shoot out that way. And, bro, we was there for a minute, bro. And the sales manager, bro, go ahead, bro. You good, bro. We gonna wrap this up for you. Don't even fucking worry about it, bro. You killed it. Even though it was a lot of my, you know, it was me and the sales manager that was helping me out, but it was some good shit, bro. If you're a real social person, you could try that shit, bro. But dude, I don't know, man. That shit just wasn't for me. I already knew. I'm not gonna, you know, and it's got its ups and downs and stuff. especially if you're brand new. They're gonna want you there. They're gonna want you to live at the dealership because you got to get your sales experience. Like, you know, you got to get your grind down, you know, or your rhythm down. And bro, I mean, it just wasn't for me. It's really not for me at all. But anyway, I'll get all reminiscent when I see this SUV right here. Oh, look. Oh, no. I don't want that car anymore, bro. What? Oh, look. Wow. Nah, bro. Nah, it's too late for that. I don't want that shit now. Look at him up there on the top, in the top corner of the screen too. So the reason why nah, bro, fuck that, dude. It's too late. Nah, hell nah, bro. Reason why I titled this stream is this. And it's way too late, bro. It's because I was about to go buy my dream cash car, bro, and this fool wants to block me. Or he did something where I couldn't even, bro. I only sent like 2 or 3 messages to him in the entire chat, bro. And so like before I knew it, I was literally about to go see the car, and the shit said and the shit said unavailable anymore. So I thought I thought he like sold the car or whatever. And then I told my friend, because I was one of my coworkers, I was like, you know, I was basically telling him I'm thinking about buying this shit all day long and shit. Bro, before I know it, this shit, I can't even see the car anymore. It says posting or whatever, no longer available or some shit. And then I told my friend, he was like, nah, bro, it's still here. He's refreshing the shit and it's still here. So I thought the fool blocked me for no reason and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? Whatever. Hey, bro, I'm up some money. Well, I'm not really up some money, but I get to save some money. That's cool. And now he wants to text me back. He wants to, and it's way too late now. Fuck that. Nah, bro. I was going to go look at the car and everything ready to go, but fool. I don't know what happened, but I don't care either. It's cool, bro. It's all good. Shit wasn't meant to be. I don't want that I wouldn't say piece of shit because it looked like a pretty nice car, but fuck it, dude. Keep that shit. No. That shit is annoying as fuck, bro. But that's what you got to do with Marketplace. I don't even know why I'm pissed because I didn't even leave work or nothing. I was about ready to go. But, you know, before I even knew it, I was like, what the fuck, can't even... All right, bro. Whatever, dude. Nah, wouldn't even ask my friend to text him for me. Nah, fuck that. I'm not finna beg a nigga to fucking... My bad. It is, hey, bro, that's just part of shopping on Marketplace, bro. Whatever. It is what it is, you know? He accidentally blocked me. Whatever. It's cool. You can keep that shit. I don't want it anymore. You just ruined the whole mood, bro. The whole vibe, whatever you want to call it. You could just go ahead and keep that. Get that shit to somebody else. It's cool. I'll find another one, an even better one. Don't even worry about that, you know? Shit wasn't meant to be. I take those as signs and shit like that. Like, why? That shit didn't happen for no reason, you know? But that's who just texted me just now. He just came back to life and shit. Hell nah, bro. Oh, cool. Not about to be like, oh, tomorrow. Nah. It's a wrap. I don't want to text you anymore. I'm not doing no more business with you. No. It's cool. Had the car posted up for a month and hadn't even gone down a penny yet. Fucking idiot, dude. It's all good though. I'll catch him when he throw that 50% off on there. Then we might talk. Damn, 219,000 miles, dude. Long time ago, believe it or not, there was actually a thing where banks wouldn't finance a vehicle over a certain amount of mileage. That is obviously not the case anymore, considering we're looking at a 127,000 mile GMC, 2015 GMC, a 10-year-old SUV, and they still want 20 grand for it. So I don't know if it's like a different standard, but that actually used to be a thing where banks are like, nah, man, that car is too old. It's got way too many miles on it. It's a wrap. But I guess since everything is fluctuated and will keep going, it's never going to get any better. You know, nothing's going to ever get cheaper. It's just going to keep rising up. So like this right here, I couldn't even fathom paying 30 grand for a mid-sized truck with 100,000 miles on it. That's ridiculous. Unbelievable. I know someday in the next 50 years or so, you're gonna be forced to pay something like that on a truck with even more mileage. But because the average dollar is not the average dollar nowadays. But anyway, yeah, it's just sad that that's actually the case, you know, because there's no way. There's no way. But anyway, yeah, I had a lot of fun working at them dealerships, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It was fun, but you know, in a man's world, fun is not always the priority, you know, like in the back of your head, if you're really serious about progression and whatnot, you'll understand that fun is like, bro, that's like, I mean, I understand you want to work comfortably, but you know, and even then, I'm not a fan of having fun at work most of the time because, you know, you can get too comfortable to the point where like you forget coworkers or just coworkers and not actually your friends and whatever. And then that's when you start getting them real uncomfortable relationships and whatnot, you know. So it's just like, you know, what do you do from that point? You already fucked up, you know. So, you know, it is what it is. Shout out to all the people who buy the last batch of certain generations of vehicles like this right here is the 2024 QX80, and the new one literally just came out, so you probably got a good discount on it. Seeing how this is still 60 grand, probably not, but you know, shout out to the people who buy the first batch of the first year model of new generation and the last year of the generation, because it's like, you know, you're not the ones who buy the first. It's like, damn, you're the fucking guinea pig. You don't know what the fuck's gonna happen to that brand new shit. And then the ones who buy the last, you're like, yep, I'm gonna get me this little discount real quick, even though my shit's already old. You know, I still enjoy the discount because, you know, I think it's better off that way anyway. Those Toyotas are way too high, regardless of you know, Toyotas, they hold. Look at this shit right here, dude. Now I would say I like those wheels. I do like the way they look, but they're cheap. Those are some really cheap. I had some neighbors that had those wheels, a set of actually they had some on a 2017 Nissan Rogue and another car they had, and I forgot what other car they had, but these are cheap as shit. They look nice from a distance, and then he's got a little bit of a lift on there too. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. 14 grand for how much? For 100? Yeah, nah. Actually, it might not be a bad price for maybe looking more detail of what he's actually got on the truck, but yeah, I got some stories, bro. I got some salesman, person, activity, action, situation type stories. Like for real, like I got a lot of cars that like I look at them and then I just reminisce about situations that have to do with them and shit. Like that Wagoneer. Yeah, man, that was a good day. That was a good Saturday, bro. I was rolling, boy. I had the top salesman hating on your boy, bro. They were mad as fuck. Like, ain't no way that motherfucker just sold another car off the showroom floor, but ain't no way, bro. I was like, bro, I don't even know how I did it, fool. You could have stole my customer a long time ago, and you didn't do it. So I appreciate you on that. But yeah, those were some good times, bro. Some good times. But like I said, it was more bad than good being a salesperson, because, you know, every salesperson on the planet is a criminal in their own type of way. It just depends on how much of a criminal you are, especially the sales managers. Like, you know how you walk into a dealership and there's usually like this glass office and you'll see like a bunch of dudes sitting behind the computer. Those are your sales managers, and basically all you do as a salesperson is talk to the customers and you kind of describe the vehicles and you tell them what you're qualified for and shit like that. And you're pretty much doing that. And then as far as the negotiating, that all is controlled by those dudes behind the glass, the sales managers. That's all them. You can't do nothing about, oh, well, what if we this and that? You can, but it's not your say so. You know, it's the sales manager say so. So that's why you see motherfuckers keep the salespeople. That's why you keep seeing them get up like, all right, let me see what I can do real quick. They keep going back talking to the sales managers because they got to figure out a way they can they can sell you on the piece of shit they're trying to sell you. But anyway, yeah, this shit probably not gonna get uploaded for this. I know YouTube's probably gonna lock this one down, but whatever, it is what it is. But yeah, bro, I got some stories, bro. Like, bro. It was like, all right, so this was like my first off day in like 4 weeks. And long story short, I had a whole off day, ain't hear nothing from nobody, right? Come back, bro. Not even half of the staff is still employed at the dealership, bro. Like, oh my gosh, that was some shit, bro. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what happened? Like, oh, shit, we got raided, bro. Pretty much. That's basically what happened, bro. It's like, damn. Ooh, that's crazy, bro. Like, motherfuckers was caught. They got caught up. And, yeah, bro, next thing you know, it's pretty damn empty and shit. I'm over here trying to figure out where the customer's at now and shit. I could have got a whole lot more after that point. But I pretty much kind of, they got so, the management that was left got so petty that they started hiring a lot of the old management. There's a reason why they got fired in the first place, but a lot of people who were there before me, and then they try to like go back and retrain all the green peas and shit like that. Like, bro, I know y'all been here first, but we already know a lot more than y'all fools do. Trust that we can get. And it was just pissing me off with just like, nah, bro, even though you've been here for like 8 months already, we're still gonna like go back to day one type shit, you know? And it's like, what the fuck? So you contradicting motherfuckers, bro. Like, so you want me to sell cars, but you want me to like go back through all this bullshit. It's like, what? Bro. Yep. How am I supposed to sell cars if I'm sitting here listening to your dumb ass all day? It doesn't make any sense, bro. But yeah, you know, I knew what it was before. I knew what the shit was long before it was time for me to leave. How about that shit? Let's say that. I already knew what was going on, bro. Shit, there was this older dude that came, because I don't know the process of hiring a salesperson, but motherfuckers just be popping up employed type shit. And there's this older dude. You know how you got these older people nowadays who swear they know the game. They did this and that and this and that, but yet they're sitting right where you are for some reason. Like, well, what happened to all the shit you talking about? Anyway, and he was like, "Oh man, I used to sell cars and shit like that back in the day. I was whipping up them deals like motherfuckers. I don't know, but he was whipping up them deals type shit is what he's talking about. I had all kind of cars, all kind of customers. Motherfuckers was chilling." And I'm just like, okay, so what happened to all that success and shit like that, you know? And, you know, he tried to school me and shit like that because all his dealership experience. And I was like, all right, well, look, bro, I know you don't want to listen to me because I'm a green pea and shit like that. I'm baby facing the shit out of my profile right now. But this is how this dealership works. I know you talking about, you know, back in the 60s and 50s and shit, but I'm telling you how the dealership you just got hired at, this is how we play around here. I'm going to let you know how it go down around here, but I'm not trying to like, you know, school you or nothing. I'm giving you the inside scoop on what happened behind, on what popping off behind these walls and shit, you know? So I had to let him know real quick, and and I just told him, it seemed like he listened for a second, but not really. And then shit I've been saying, shit I was telling him, he started seeing that shit like in 3D type of shit. He's like, oh shit, but that motherfucker not playing around. I told you this is how they do the shit, bro. I told you this how. I was like, watch. I'm like, watch. This is what he gonna say right here. All right, then watch this. What if you tell the sales manager this right here? Watch what he gonna do. He gonna make you come back and do this. But watch this right here, because this is how you gonna have to do this. And that shit just, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I already knew. I didn't, bro. I knew all that shit, bro. Like, bro. This is, look, bro. He's gonna. As soon as this sales manager finds out this is a good customer, he's gonna send him to this fool right here, because this fool can get this fool out. What, bro? And I was telling him, fool, and he started seeing that shit come true. And he's like, "Damn, dude, what the fuck?" So we kind of became acquainted a little bit, right? So after we got sick of the dealership that we met at, we moved to another dealership, and the plan was supposed to be that we were both supposed to be hired, because he knew some dudes from another dealership. So we were supposed to be hired both as salespeople, but, you know, I'm still baby facing the fuck out of it, you know? And so that's why the next dealership that we went to together, he was like, I'm kind of like jumping over the story a little bit, but, you know, so after he started we kind of like built trust, I guess, in a bond or whatever, because I was telling him shit and the shit started coming true. The motherfucker was like, "You know what? Fuck this dealership, bro. I got another one lined up. Here's what you got to do. All you got to do is just walk up in there and let them know you know me." And I'm like, "Shit, bad fool. I'm getting tired of this shit right here, fool." So the fool, so before I knew, so I was basically because, like, I'm glad I kind of met him. I'm gonna be honest, because I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do after that dealership. I was like, "Damn, it's coming to an end, bro. I'm getting tired of this dealership. What am I gonna do next?" And then he comes through. "I got another dealership lined up for you already. You ain't even got to apply online." I was like, "Shit, man, appreciate you on that." So we went to the dealership. We were supposed to the plan that we had coordinated together is that we were supposed to both be hired as we're both supposed to be sales people, but his dealership that he recommended had other plans, and they hired me as like some type of agent that just makes calls and shit like that. So I was already pissed, but I was like, "Fuck it, dude, it's a job, dude." Like, by the time I left the other one, I was mad as fuck. I was like, "Bro, I'm supposed to be a salesperson, bro. That's what I'm already been doing for the past 8 months. What is what it is. And then long story short, so we were only at that next dealership for like not even a couple months. And then he hurt himself. He slipped on the job. He was in the back doing something he wasn't even supposed to do near the mechanics, and he slipped and hurt himself. And, you know, ambulance came up and flew his ass down the street to the hospital. And, bro, that was basically it, bro. So it was basically a dude who couldn't really keep his promise and shit like that. And I was once again, fool. My dumb ass was on my own, pretty much. I was like, "Shit, dude. Well, he's out of the picture, because I know he ain't gonna come back. It's a wrap, bro. It's not gonna, you know." He called me a few times and shit like that, and then he kind of got a little pissed because I didn't like. I called him like once, and then he called me like twice, and then like the third, I think he called me. He was like pissed, like I didn't call him, like bro. First of all, I'm not your son, bro. I don't know. I don't know what you expect. I mean, you're a grown man, bro. I get it. You're old as fuck, but I'm not one of your kids, dude. Like, you should be, you know what I'm saying? I don't know why you getting mad at me because I'm not checking up on you, bro. I mean, you're supposed to be back by now when you was lying on that shit and all that shit anyway. And so we just kind of grew apart from there. That's pretty much the end of that story. There's a lot of details I left out, but like I said, you know, I don't know if YouTube is gonna. Well, I know YouTube's going to check over all this shit, but I don't know if they're going to allow this stream to be actually posted like the last one was. But yeah, good times, bro. Good time. We was on a mission, bro. And then after that, pretty much after that dealership, I got fed up with doing the shit they had me doing in the back, pretty much just answering calls and making leads for people to actually, like, pretty much just stirring up traffic to come to the dealership. And I was like, bro, when am I going to, like, bro, I was, you know, like, I'm supposed to be a salesperson. That's kind of what I came into, you know, to apply for and shit. And you know what? And by that time, it was time for me to move states. So I was like, bro, I'm gone, bro. I'm gone. And I'm not doing this shit over there in the next state either. So I'm done with this shit, like, completely. Fuck that shit, dude. I'm not doing that anymore. Hell nah, bro. I can't. Good times, bro. Good times, though. Speaking of moving to the next state, this right here and the Subaru Crosstrek, or any Subaru in general, is like the top 2 most common cars. This G30, whatever, Infiniti sedan, G30, whatever. These Infiniti sedans are more common than Toyota Camrys and shit like that now, bro. Damn, bro, it's just taking me back in the day, bro. Story time. I should name this shit story time, but shit, fuck it, you know. That was some good times, bro. I can't even like bro. So many I mean, I was only a salesperson for like 9 months, but bro, it was some stories, bro. Like, so you know how like there'll be dealerships and like groups, like there'll be a DOS Ford, a DOS Chevy, a DOS Mazda, shit like that, you know, bro. I remember this one fool. So he had like a stretch of like the same dealerships, like all in the same lot. And this fool, bruh, motherfucker came running down from the other side of the shit in a whole suit. He tried to take from customers that, oh shit, that was funny. That was funny as fuck. So this couple in this car were circling around the entire lot. So there was like there's 3 dealerships on this one big ass lot, and they were circling around. And I don't know why he didn't stop them from way over there or whatever. But this fool from the dealership all the way at the very end, he comes running like it's like a lot big enough for probably to fit a football field on there and shit. Motherfucker comes running down from the other side of in a full suit. He's like, "Hey, is that black Camry still rolling around here and shit?" I'm like, "Nah, fool, I don't know what you're talking about." Even though they was already inside, I knew what he was talking about. It wasn't even my I didn't even get to him in time. I knew what he was talking about. I just said nah because, you know, shit, they at our dealership, bro. Relax, bro. You good? Take your ass back over there, bro. Like, you good, bro. You ain't even got. But it was, and it as fun as that shit was, just being an idiot, just being aggressive like a shark, and, you know, trying to ruin people's lives with generational debt like this and shit. It just wasn't worth it for me, bro. I mean, I just, you know, it was fun though. That shit was fun, bro. You know, motherfuckers was like, we was kind of chilling on the weekdays because we knew you wouldn't get much action and shit, you know. But for whatever reason, I'd have so many appointments, which is the goal that they want you to have, is get appointments, because, like, say you got 100 appointments, right? Let's be honest, like, on your average, 100 appointments, maybe like 20 of them will probably show up, maybe, if you're lucky. That's just how it is, bro. That's just how it is. And oh man, bro. Anyway, you know, that's just how it is. You got 50 appointments, maybe like 17 of them show up. That's just how it is. It's just simple math and simple physics. People, motherfuckers flake, especially when it comes to shit like wasting money on cars and shit like that, you know? They're gonna flake regardless. You'll never get 100% of the energy you put into selling cars, and that's just how it is, you know? Simple as that. Like anything else you're selling, motherfuckers is gonna flake because they really could care less about spending any money. But yeah, bro, that was some good shit. That was some good times, bro. I mean, as far as like the percentage of the people I talked to and I sold, people I talked to I would sell. Shit, bro, I'd probably say like it's like, I think I sold at least like 65% of them, to be honest. And that's not saying much because I didn't really have too many customers. But when I did have a customer, though, I knew how to get because I was pretty terrible at persuading and shit like that. All the numbers and, you know, the logicalness around actually putting yourself into debt like this. And that's when the sales managers come in. They were like, you know, they would get so strict with it. They'd be like, yo, don't let a customer leave unless you let a sales manager talk to them and shit. You know, make sure that they're ready to leave and shit like that, you know. And it's just like, bro, it was even some fools that did the key method. You know how you go into the dealership and they're like, oh, let's look at your trade and shit like that, and they keep the keys until the I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't be that much of a thug. That was crazy. But yeah, they keep your keys and shit like that. I'm like, bro, y'all motherfuckers is some thugs, bro. I'm not doing that shit. Slide the keys in the desk and shit. They can't even fucking go anywhere, bro. It's just like, oh shit. Yeah. We'll get y'all out of here. Y'all want some water or something like that? Y'all want some I get you a snack from the vending machine or something like that, bro. Fuck, dude. It's some good times, bro. It's some good times. It didn't take me very long to realize how much of a thug we were supposed to be in there. Nah. I mean, it was some thugs, but nah, bro. I can't even imagine that shit anymore. That shit was a waste of time, to be honest. You know, I mean, I know, I get it. There's some successful motherfuckers out there doing like TikTok and shit like that. And even then, like, bro, that's because see, there's a reason why it's not because they're not getting any like sales or traction without TikTok. It's because like that shit really does have its ups and downs where they need like a secondary source of income to actually keep shit afloat and shit like that, you know? And then before you know it, they're not going to be selling cars anymore because their fucking social media is going to be doing way better than that trash. And it's just like, well, I mean, good for them, you know? I thought about doing that too, but I just don't think I have the personality for that, you know, especially when it comes to, I don't know, just, you know, like I watch, what's his name? Hellcat, Hell Nah. He's pretty funny. He's a pretty cool dude. Ironically, he sells the brand that I used to sell to. I only sold one brand as far as new, at least. I was primarily stationed at a Dodge dealership, even though we got used cars. And like I said, when there's groups of the same named dealerships, like Doss Chevy, Doss Ford, Doss Kia, we could potentially go over there and sell a vehicle there if we needed to. But it was just a lot of work, and, you know, sales managers, they want you to sell from your primary dealership's inventory first. And then if there's absolutely nothing we have, then okay, let's go talk to this dealership real quick and then shit like that. But ooh, bro. Those were the days, bro. Those were the days. I mean, it was basically just a bunch of promises you couldn't keep, pretty much, because I hated that shit, dude. Like, you know, and I think it was mostly the type of advertisement we had for that brand of dealership and shit. They're like, you know, the sales managers are like, I mean, so like the commercials, they were always like, oh, we can get anybody approved no matter what. It doesn't matter if you're zero credit score, zero down, and you just had a foreclosure. It doesn't matter, bro. We'll get you qualified no matter what. You bring a jar of pennies and we'll count them shits up. And then they get there and it's just like, we can't do shit for you, bro, unless you have like 3 co-signers and like 50 grand down and shit. It's like, you know, I hated that shit, bro, because it was some sob stories, bro. Even though, I mean, I'm just trying to do my job the crooked way, you know, but that's how they trained you, bro. That's how my dealership they trained you like a thug, bro. Don't give a fuck about no feeling, no sob story. Damn, bro. I just had to pay $75 for a babysitter, and then I paid $180 for an Uber here, and now I gotta pay like $345 to get an Uber back home, and I gotta wait because and then my baby mama is like, oh shit, dude, fuck, dude, look, bro, you know, even though you couldn't really like spill the beans and shit like that, I was about ready to. Look, bro, my sales manager, bro. It's all his idea, bro. I knew I couldn't get you approved before you walked in the door, and this fool still wanted you to come through, bro. Just like, fuck, dude. My bad, bro. Here's $50, bro. Hopefully this helps you out and shit. But you know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I felt like doing, bro. But that was yeah. Those were them days, bro. Those were them days. So I was already I thought I seen something. Anyway, I was already an employee at the dealership, at least with the company. I was in the background doing the shit that I did since I graduated high school, detailing and washing cars and shit like that. All that service shit in the back, except for, you know, that we did in the back. Pretty much cleaning the vehicles and shit. And there was this one dude that he was just selling the fuck out of, bro. He dude, I don't know what the fuck he was doing, bro, but he was like, and he gold on and shit like that, and he got the shiny dreadlocks and shit, and that motherfucker sold like 4 or 5 Kias a day, dude. They were Kias, but he was selling, bro. Like the motherfucker was selling, like he was selling cars like bricks. I'm like, what the fuck is this motherfucker? So finally, like, you know, after I stopped being a fucking shy dumbass, I asked him, Well, I had to, because he was quick too. You see him drop a car off, and that boy gone. And then so finally one day I had to drive his ass back to the front of where we do it's a big ass lot, but where we do all the cleaning, where we did all the cleaning and shit was up in the back. So once a salesperson sells a car, he drives that shit way up to the top and he walks right back, way up to the garages and shit. And I had to drive him. Drove him back one time to the front of the dealership. I'm like, bro, what the fuck are you doing, bro? I was like, how the fuck are you selling all this shit? He was like, he said one thing, bro. That motherfucker said, he said, he went like this, and you gotta be quick. You gotta be or something like that. He smooth as fuck too. He's like this African, I wouldn't say Liberian type fool, bro. But he was like, I mean, he bro. That motherfucker was impressive as fuck. I can't even lie, bro. But he just said it smooth. Like, he just said one thing real quick. He was like, he looked at me because he's in the passenger seat, and I'm just like, how the fuck are you? I think I said, how are you selling all these cars? And he's like, he raises up his finger. He's like, you gotta be quick, bro. You gotta be smooth. You gotta be fast, or something like that, And then he said, first, the quickest one always gets the most, always gets the most, something like that. I'm so stupid. I can't even. This was like fucking 2-3 years ago, but that motherfucker was smooth as fuck, bro. He was smooth. I was like, damn, bro. And then I was like, from that point, because I was really thinking about being a salesperson, but I just didn't think I had the verbal language and all that shit like that. But I like to talk about cars anyway, so it's like, well, what's the worst that can happen? And I knew I stuttered and all that good stuff, but. Then another dude that was kind of my age, because this Liberian dude. He's a little bit older. Looked like he was like probably his late 30s or whatever, but he was plated up, bro. That motherfucker, you could tell he always had like he dressed like Cody Rhodes he dressed like Cody Rhodes. You know how he comes out and bro, he's got the Rolex and the shit on his fucking on his vest and shit like that, and the pants and everything. That's how he dressed, bro. Fuck, dude. Cody Rhodes got money, but that motherfucker looked like he had just as much, and he was selling Kias every day. Anyway, so he was pretty much my inspiration as far as, because I always knew I wanted to get out of detailing and shit like that, because it just wasn't really any more advancement other than being a manager, but I didn't see that coming anytime soon, and shit like that. So he was pretty much like the main motivation. And then there was another dude that he was a younger guy. I think he was like a year younger than me or whatever. I was like, yo, the next day after he dropped off a car to get detailed after he sold it, I was like, yo, bro, I gotta get into the sales, bro. How do I do this shit? And he's like, oh, yo, don't worry about it. Just I'm gonna let my sales managers know, bro, that you want to join up. And I'm like, all right, cool. So funny enough, the other dealership, not the dealership that. So these are like 3 separate dealerships. I'm not gonna name them, obviously, just for obvious reasons. But all 3 dealerships are on the same lot, though. Big ass, giant, brand new parking lot. And funny enough, there's this other dealership that pretty much had like primarily black staff. I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. They felt more like they were more, because what am I trying to say here? So the dude that I was like, yo, I need to get into this shit, bro. He looked like Corbin Bleu from from High School Musical type dude. But he didn't seem like he was gonna get to he's gonna get to it as quickly as possible. So the people from the other dealership, a whole lot more black people and shit like that, they seemed like they were more like understanding and like quick to be like, yo, all right, I'm a matter of fact, you know what? When it's your lunch or whatever, I'm gonna come pick your ass up real quick. We'll slide down to the dealership and we're gonna talk to we're gonna talk to the sales managers and shit. It was basically everybody in there was black, and it was only like 2 or 3 bilingual people who obviously who speak Spanish. One old lady, and then like two younger guys, but everybody else was like black. It was like one big ass family reunion in that bitch. And yeah, so I was like, all right, cool. But I was like, what, matter of fact, I'm gonna just slide after my shift and shit. And I was like, oh. And he was like, all right, cool. So I slid down there and talked to the sales managers and shit, and they were like, yeah, you know, that's cool, bro. Still got them on Facebook as friends too. I think I do, a few of them. And they were like, yeah, cool. So, you know, so when do you want to start and shit like that? And I'm like, shit, it doesn't matter, bro. But, you know, he's like, all right, well, let your manager right now, your detailing manager right now know and shit like that, and blah, 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 and shit. And then bam. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll give it about a week and shit. Funny enough that my detailing manager, this fool was mad because I was wondering, he waited till like a month to talk to me and shit. Cause I was like, why the fuck isn't this dude like talking to me about, you know, me leaving and shit? And it turns out he's mad as fuck because I didn't tell him first that I wanted to go to sales and shit. He was gay. And I was like, bro, so motherfuckers is always gonna be mad at you for trying to like do better for yourself, bro. It is what it is, bro. I already know. I'm still getting that now, bro. You know what I'm saying? But motherfuckers is gonna hate, bro. They're like, oh, you trying to, you know, why didn't you tell me? He's like, and plus this was like this was when we had that weird it was like a drought with like the chip shortage and shit like that. And he was like, well, you know, they don't have no cars to sell right now, right? And I was like, well, sure, I guess, but I still want to leave here. He was mad, bro. And I was like, whatever, bro. So I started over there pretty much after that, and it was like pretty much one big family happy reunion type family thing going on until well, like I said, the place got raided pretty much. It's like my first off day in like 2 months. And then, bro, I came back and half the staff was gone, bro. I'm like, oh shit, dude. Funny enough, it was some of the fools I didn't even talk to anyway, but you know, it was some fools that I did talk to. I was like, damn, bro. We was cool though. We was some partners up in there. It was some brothers up in there, but I ain't gonna lie, but we was chilling, we was having fun and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, I was rocking Babyface like crazy, so I was getting fried up like eggs and shit. I was getting cooked, like I still am now. This job I got now, I'm still getting cooked. But anyway, it's all, you know, funny. I know how to dish it out. You know, it is what it is. Fuck it. But anyway, yeah, bro. You know, if you're really social and that shit, you know, think you could talk to people, and if you think you can go those weeks of, because there's gonna be droughts. You're not gonna always be smooth flowing on car sales. Fuck that shit. I don't care what anybody said. That's cap as fuck. That's a lie, dude. You're not getting no smooth. I mean, maybe you might get a month or so, but don't get used to that shit, because that shit's not gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be consistent like you think. Never that. It'll never ever be consistent, especially nowadays where shit is just getting more, like shit is getting more expensive quicker than they're giving you a raise at work, you know? And it's just gonna always keep overlapping like that. So fuck that shit, dude. Don't even think like that. But anyway, yeah, bro. So I got into that car sales shit, and it didn't take me long to get the hang of shit, you know? I'm like, damn, these motherfuckers is really rigging, you know? Like there's more. I know that black dude was smooth as fuck when he talked to me, talking about, you know, the Liberian dude, you know, dressing like Cody Rhodes every day and shit. But it's like, yo, dude. I mean, in my head, I'm thinking there's a lot more to this shit than what he just fucking said. I already know. And there is a lot more. If y'all need some advice, let me know, because I'm telling you right now, like a nigga can't just say all this shit off the top of the head like it's fucking false and shit. No, bro, motherfucker really went through some shit, dude. Like, damn, it ain't no joke, bro. Like, I had some pissed customers. I had some, bro. I got some stories, bro. That shit'll definitely how you tweaking sometimes too. But I ain't never going back to that life again. Fuck that shit. That was a waste of time. It's all good though, you know. You know, good experience. Good. It's good for young men to get out there and like explore, because you know, I'm sure like 80+% of you know, younger men graduate high school, you know, they cap, talking about, oh, I know what I want to do for a living and shit like that, when it's really cap. Like, I can't tell you how many students, like how many guys I graduated with, and they went straight into trade school and don't even do the shit that they did as soon as they got out of school, bro. They don't even do that shit anymore. It's like, nice. That's you just wasted the fuck out of your time and your money on that shit, but it is what it is. You know, we've all wasted time and money, so I'm not even really going. speak on that. Well, I guess you could speak on it because you did it before. It makes sense. But anyway, point is, damn, that shit is overpriced as shit right there. 179,000 miles, 20 grand. That's crazy. But yeah, bro, being a salesperson, I was pretty much around the dealership life since I graduated high school, all the way up until I moved states. And I was just like, bro, if this shit ain't working where it's best, like I'm sure selling cars would be best down south, other than up north. And I was like, fuck that, dude. I'm not doing that shit, dude. Some good times, bro. It was some really good times. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I think the biggest headache part, other than you kind of feeling sorry for customers you knew you wouldn't be able to sell before you even get them through the door, but your sales managers are crooked as shit and they like to waste people's time. Probably just bro, it was so many instances where, like fools thought they had cars in inventory, but they're already fucking sold and shit, getting cleaned up in fucking detail, bro. Damn, that shit was annoying as fuck, bro. It's just like, why don't you idiots update the website, the inventory, so we won't be fucking running around looking for shit that's already sold and shit. Ooh, bro, I'm telling you, bro. There's some stories up in that shit, bro. I'm already rocking back down to memory lane, bro. I remember that shit. Motherfuckers would accuse you and shit, talking about some, we not even gonna talk about that, but it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I was it was definitely a fun experience. I think it was a waste of time, but it was definitely a fun experience. And that says something for a motherfucker who wasn't even there for like 9 months. I was at the dealership for like more than a year, but being a salesperson, like I said, that story when I was like, shit, I gotta get into this shit. That was a little bit after I started in the detailing shit, but I don't know. It's just something about cleaning cars, bro. I just love doing it. I love to detail a vehicle, even though it's not even mine. I just love like cleaning vehicles, knowing that shit they probably, unless I started my own business and shit like that. But there's a lot of cap going on, as far as social media and shit like that tells you how to do this and that shit. Like motherfuckers think shit is easier than it actually is, and they expect like something out of nothing. They expect shit to happen overnight. And part of growing up and is maturing to the point to where like, okay, you gotta stand back and be like, I gotta deal with, I gotta work with the shit I have right now at the moment, and at the moment I didn't have shit, so you gotta kind of go with, okay, I got this job for now, I got this shitty ass car for now, this we gotta work with what we got, for the moment and shit. But that was there's definitely some fun experiences, bro. Especially I think one of the reasons why I had the most fun is I was pretty much working not the whole time, but the majority of the time I was working at those dealerships is because, it was the pandemic, so shit was fucked, dude. Like they was dropping salespeople like flies, bro, like raiding in flies or roaches or whatever you want to compare that shit to, bro. That shit was damn. Like motherfuckers was like, all right, we don't need you anymore, type shit. Like it was this one point I was at this dealership and I was literally holding down, well, the majority of the service area except for like the mechanics and shit like that. They still needed them to quick lube technicians and all that shit. But I remember this one day I basically had to be a detailer, a car washer, and a service drive porter all in one day. That shit was terrible as fuck, dude. But I held that shit down for at least as long as I could before I got tired of that shit. And yeah, this was a good time, bro. Those were some good times. I can't even lie. Best I put my heart on ice, cause I can't breathe. That's when that song came out. That's what that song reminds me of. Good shit, bro. The struggle was real, but not really, because I mean, it was some struggle trying to figure out what the fuck I wanted to do or where I was gonna be or what I was gonna go. I think I'm still kind of, thinking about that now, but the point is, we had some experiences, bro. Some shit that I never want to do again, because that shit was terrible. As fun as it was for the moment, being a salesperson, basically averaging about 500 a week, which is nothing even back then, like 4 years ago. And on Saturday night, going to the club partying like fool actually got something to party about is crazy, dude. That was a waste of time. But and I would say I got that out of my system. Not really though. But now that I've been isolated from that shit, from that waste of time lifestyle for about 3 years now, it's kind of like it. I think it was kind of worth it, but that shit, whoo, yeah, bro. That's probably the most what's the word I'm looking for? Tedious. I don't know. There's a bunch of words that can describe that, but especially them days when you had to multitask for damn near almost no reason, because there was, salespeople. There's some days where you will literally damn near pick up the world, right, for this one customer, and they still don't even end up buying at the end of the day. Them days, you got to be skilled enough to have enough patience to not off somebody at that point, because damn, dude, them days. I think I had like 2 of them days out of like the whole I don't know, the whole 9 months I was there. But either way though, yeah, those were the days where you gotta have some patience, boy, because you like shit, dude. Bro, we test drove like 8 cars, fool, and still didn't even get nothing out of the day. And they talking about, and you already know, if somebody talking about coming back, it's a wrap, bro. They're not coming back, bro. I mean, they might come back, but there'll be somebody else's customer and shit. It's like, you did everything, bro. And they still not satisfied. It's like, bro, it's what it is though, bro. Selling cars, bro. What do you expect? You can't expect too much, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta just roll with it, bro. You can't be, don't be emotional, bro. It is what it is. Because a fool will take your customer like he don't even remember last time he seen you with one or some shit like that. I don't know. Like a dude will be a friend. Yeah, y'all like a sales coworker. They'll be your friend, but that fool will steal your customer quick, real quick. And it's just like, it's some fools that thought they were exempt from that, like they were untouchable. Like, so obviously you can't control when your customer comes to the dealership or not. Sometimes they'll just be like, sometimes you'll have a schedule, you'll have an appointment, but then they'll come to the dealership like willingly or whatever, and it's your off day. And then, hey, depending on what sales managers and what sales people are there, bro, they might just be like, fuck it, dude, just take the nigga's customer, bro, just take it. And then by the time, next thing you know, you come back and shit like that, and it's like, bro, what happened, And they're like, oh, it's cool, bro, we had to go ahead and deal with it and shit like that. And then they lie to you talking about you getting half the deal and shit. Half a deal is when you're supposed to get half of the deal percentage whenever you sell a car, but usually that never happens, especially when you're a green pea. They keep talking about, oh, you get half the deal. Yeah, you'll get half a deal. Nothing. You don't get shit, dude. They're not gonna give you a damn thing. You gotta have experience type shit and all that good shit, Oh, look. Here goes the GX right here. Look. See, now if I pulled up in this, see, oh, I like that color too. This is what they, well, this one's way nicer than the two that they have, but I like I like that color though, with the black wheels too. That's nice. That's now if I pulled up in this, we would basically all be matching right here, but I couldn't fathom 40 grand for something that's already got 50,000 miles on it. It's ridiculous, dude. I think that's kind of stupid in my opinion, but you know, it is what it is. Damn, a Raptor without the 6.2 in it is just a 5.4 liter V8 too. That, man, dude, right here, this shit right here is common as shit, dude. It's so common. I think it devalues the actual price of the vehicle too. That's crazy. $2014. This is cool. I like this. I like this because usually you'll see these. I like the color match shit. Wish this was color match too, but usually you'll see these plastic ugly fenders like the General Motors trucks and shit. I like how this one looks though. This is nice. This is a nice color scheme going on. I like that a lot. I don't like this SUV, but just the way it appears, it's nice enough. If you want to talk about the value, the pricing and everything, if it's a deal or not at all, bro. Not at all, bro. The 3.6, especially as they age, 125,000 miles on that shit. The fact that you're still able to find a bank who would finance that shit is crazy, right? But you know, for 11 grand, dude. I watched this one mechanic on TikTok, bro, and he rips those things to shreds because they're such junk. But I mean, dude, I had one. It was fine. Obviously, it was brand new, but I don't know, bro. Like just the way he talks about those things, and I would probably take his advice because he sounds like he knows what the fuck he's talking about. But yeah, there's fools that are really out there just like there's fools really out there just accepting debt, bro. Like they already know that fuck it, dude. I'm stuck in debt forever anyway. Might as well just go ahead and just grab something like this right here. It's literally like something like these Audis and these brand new cars. Anything over like, I don't know, 2011 or whatever. Just don't touch it, bro. Just don't even change the oil on that shit. Let somebody else do that shit and let an actual shop do it, because look at this. 25 grand? Damn. Oh, he's got the little 2. Look at that. Depreciation situation compilation. I don't know. Look at this. Damn, bro. It's not even basically a 4-year-old truck, and it's only 25 grand, bro. This is a pretty decent, I mean, Silverado's got a pretty heavy truck. What's the word I'm looking for? It's got the nostalgia, right? Is that a word? Of an American pickup truck, and it's only 25 grand. Obviously, I know why, because it's the 2.7 liter, the cute little lunchbox motor right here. I get that, but, and it's funny too. There's like dudes that'll be driving these trucks and they think they're actually trucks just because you have a truck shell right here, right? Like there's this dude. I used to work this dude at the car wash, bro, and he swore on everything because he had this, but it was like a darker red color, and that I couldn't understand why the fuck he thought he had a truck, bro. He was like, every time he'd leave, he'd hit that corner and he'd peel. I was surprisingly, the thing could actually burn rubber and shit. You know, it actually peel around the corner. That shit. He'd do that shit every time. And you wouldn't hear nothing but the tires. It'd just be like a fucking leaf blower and shit. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, 310 horsepower. That's actually pretty impressive, though. But this is like, damn, dude. This dude really thinks he's got a truck. And I was like, and he didn't even know, like, this exact same setup right here. I'm like, we was talking about trucks and shit. And I was like, yeah, you know, that's why I like having a 6-foot bed. He's like, oh, I got a 6-foot bed, too. Nah, bro. That ain't no 6-foot bed, bro. I mean, not even fucking close, dude. But I mean, it is what it is. It's like a motherfucker. It wouldn't be no difference from a Ford Maverick or a Santa Fe. I mean, Santa Cruz, whatever that thing is called. Some shit like that, dude. A Ridgeline, some shit. It's like, dude, that's not a truck. But I mean, I guess as long as you have a truck bed, right? What does it matter, right? You know, it is. I guess you could always void the warranty and just go ahead and throw an actual 5.3 or a 6.4, whatever they got in there and shit like that, or maybe even the 6.2. That'll actually be probably a little bit better. But like this right here, bro, it's just sad, bro. I can't even fathom this shit, dude. This is what trucks are coming to nowadays, bro. Like these giant pieces of plastic. Damn, that's crazy, bro. Like you're paying more for less, you know? The quality is getting worse. Like obviously an engineer's tactic number one priority is to make something as cheap as possible while selling it as expensively as they possibly can. And then like you just got shit like this, dude. Look at this shit. This shit doesn't even have a fucking, is this the driver's seat? And you got no controls right here. That's it. I get it. It's the base model, but it's just like no more V8s, you know, all turbochargedness going on. Ford is barely holding on to one more, to their last V8, which is the same one they put in the Mustangs and whatnot. At least General Motors still has the 2.5.3 in the other one. What is that, the 6 something? Shit like that. You know, you still got your diesels for your heavy duties, but I mean, come on, man. Nobody really, like you got fools talking about they need a diesel truck and they're never gonna pull anything. It's just like, come on, man, just relax. But I got a coworker that has one of these. I think it's a SR. It's a sportier version or whatever. And we were just joking around. We were talking about trucks and shit, and he's like, because we was talking about trucks and shit, and he was like, yeah, you like, because we brought up the Tundra, and he was like, yeah, y'all like the Tundras, right? I was like, yeah, the last generation, the ones with 5.7s in them, yeah, those are nice. Even though the starter is buried down in the center of the block, you gotta take the heads off damn near just to get to the starter. But either way, though, I'd probably rather do that than have a cute little blow dryer under the hood. You know, I just think that's a little just insane in my opinion. I don't know why. I don't know why you'd even consider that, but I mean, pretty soon these days we're gonna have to anyway. So I guess it is what it is. Anyway, yeah, bro, we went through like what 46 pages, 50 pages already. All right, we'll probably go to like a few more real quick just to see. Let me turn my head to the side real quick. Damn, 2 hours and 30 minutes pretty much. All right, so yeah, like I said, there's a reason why these streams are boring right now, and I'm just kind of story timing the shit out of this, just because I just want to see what I'm allowed and what's allowed and what's not. Seeing the fact that you can't breathe on these streams without getting a copyright strike and shit. So, you know, hopefully this will be okay, since the last one survived with the reading comments and all that good shit, you know. So, you know, glad we're going this strong. That says excellent condition and shit like that. We got the chat right here. Nobody's typed in there in a minute, but I appreciate y'all anyway. Though, look at a few more cars. We'll stop talking about story time and shit for a minute, so we can actually look at these deals and I'm gonna give you the a 5-liter V8. Is that the 5.0 in there? I don't think it is. I'm gonna actually give you Doss's take on the car market, even though it's kind of like a little random because different states and cities could be reasoning for the price as well. But I just had to look at this one because it's a 5-liter. It's a 360 horsepower. That must be the 5.4. But anyway, so far, I mean, as far as 2025 pricing goes, everything looks pretty decently priced, I guess you'd say. I don't know, bro. It's just, I like to compare at least to 10 years ago when I was actually focused and I was actually analyzing the car market as to like why the fuck everything is so expensive nowadays. Like this shit right here, this looks like a spaceship in the front. I actually think this car is pretty cool for the price. Is pretty justifiable for what it is. It's a 7 Series, probably the biggest, baddest sedan BMW makes and has. I get that, but 70 grand for a 740i, bro. That's crazy. It's just like, if you're so anything over like 40 grand, it doesn't make sense why you would, if you're feeling, how can I phrase this in a way that's not gonna, if you're feeling comfortable enough to finance 72 grand on a depreciating automobile as it ages and gets used more over time, why can't you just pay that in cash? It's like, it's just not a, I mean, at least until we start getting flying cars like in the next 50 years, where like 40 grand today is going to look like 70 grand right now. Why the fuck are you financing 72 grand, bro? It just doesn't make any sense. And this shit still has 4 wheels and does the exact same shit as everything else. I don't know. I just don't get it. I try to phrase that as best as I possibly could, but my vocabulary isn't as strong as it used to be, especially when I was a salesperson. Speaking when I was a salesperson, I remember I tried to sell one of these. There's the Expedition version of this shit, and nobody wanted this shit, bro, because it was just an overpriced ass fucking Ford, pretty much. It's just the Timberline. It's just got a few upgraded, not really, accessories like a lift and like tow hooks and shit like that, and a different grill, and that's about it. That's about it, bro. It wasn't. There's just some cars you couldn't sell off the. That's another thing. Some cars you couldn't sell off the lot, and then they'd be like, "Oh, you just trash as fuck." So they try to give it to a more experienced salesperson, and then it turns out he can't even fucking sell it either. I was like, dude, this shit's just trash, bro. Don't nobody want that piece of shit for that price or whatever. Get rid of that shit, you know. But you know, it is what it is, though, bro. Fuck it. Like, this shit is crazy, dude. 30 grand for this and with 105,000 miles on it. Oh, wow. They really came a long way with them General Motors interiors, especially from the early 2000s. It looked like you were sitting behind a desk. Now it's just a more modern desk, but at least look, little 2.7 little lunchbox in there. That's crazy, dude. Can I see the engine bay in this thing real quick? Whole side of the steering wheel blank. You don't get no buttons in that shit. Oh, there it is. Look at that. You could barely see that shit in there. Just nothing but plastic in there and shit. That's crazy. That's about as much engine as you'll get right there. I mean, it's not much of it in there, so it's like, why? Why even show you? It doesn't matter. That part of the truck doesn't matter, bro. Don't even worry about it. You're good. I mean, overall, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. At least looking at it today. Maybe tomorrow might be a different story if, I don't know, if I go live or whatever. But that's kind of the main purpose of going live today. I kind of wanted to share that story about how I literally just got cock blocked from buying a vehicle that I actually kind of wanted. But it's all good though. I'm not gonna chase a fool down to waste some money. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna leave that right there. I mean, it is what it is. I remember when these things came out, I adored these things. I used to work at a Ford dealership like right after I graduated high school, and it was basically that perfect timing for the new Ranger that came out back in 2019. They just the next year I think they popped off with that brand new Escape. After that they popped off with these, I think, but these were like before the Escapes. But the Escapes that looked like Porsches and shit, those came out. It was like perfect timing because I got to the new Explorers came out. I remember when the Explorer, which is, what do you call that thing? The Lincoln Aviator, which is basically just a gloss up Ford Explorer. Both of those came out, bro. I remember, and then the EcoSport that came out, bro. Holy shit, bro! I joined that dealership just at the right time to get all those. Ford was popping off with so many brand new vehicles and shit. The F-150 was still doing its thing. They didn't want to mess with that too much, but I think the Mustang was getting its little bit of a update and shit like that. But I was there at that Ford dealership from 2019 to 2021, I think. Just a little bit over a year. And yeah, I got to experience a lot of these newer Fords, which are still kind of like the current. Now they're just getting like facelifts and stuff like that. But you know, it was nice to see. I wasn't selling at the Ford dealership. I was just I sold only at a Dodge dealership. And then after that, well, that was the last dealership. Well, no, it wasn't the last dealership, but that was the only dealership I sold cars at. Actually, I was actually a salesperson. So, you know, we had access to the new, what do you call it? Why am I forgetting the name of the Hellcats and all that shit? Yeah. Except when we got them in, they'd always sell pretty quick for some reason, especially like the TRXs and shit. We had some of those too. Oh, look. Here's one, 126,000 miles, 24 grand. Now, I'd say this is overpriced as fuck because of the mileage, but just because of what it is, which kind of sickens me to say because you never know. Like the previous owner, you never know. They could have probably redlined the shit out of this thing every time they started it up when it was negative 20 degrees. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you never know, dude. You know, 126,000 miles is quite a bit, but maybe it's still got a little bit of life left. I think this is actually an old ass infotainment screen, especially with navigation. When it comes to 2018, that's a little old, in my opinion. But you know, whatever, it is what it is, right? And it's only a 2-wheel drive. Oh no, it's all-wheel drive too. But either way, though, this will still be every time I see one of these GXs, because it's like motherfuckers is at work right now. Motherfuckers is competing and shit. Like, oh, I got the best GX. No, I got the best GX. It's like, damn, dude. If only I had a GX. Not anytime soon, though, bro. But I know the first thing I would do is straight pipe the shit out of that shit. Not straight pipe it, but put a nice little exhaust on there. Gotta look real nice. I mean, gotta sound real nice, bro. You gotta know what you got under the hood, you know. You know, because nowadays you got this shit 2.5s and look, another 2.5, 2.7, and you know, 2L, whatever that is, 3.6. Even though that one, the 3.6 actually sounds pretty good. I had 3 of those, and they sounded pretty good. So, you know, I wouldn't discriminate until they get older. Look, a diesel, 3-liter diesel, disgusting, dude. Come on, man. A 2-liter i4, disgusting. You know, a lot of disgusting, a lot of baby turbocharged, disgusting shit nowadays, dude. Like, where's all the naturally aspiratedness at, dude? Like the shit I got, dude. I got just nothing but naturally aspiratedness, you know? But whatever, bro. It is what it is. You know, it's all good. So, anyway, what is it? Yep, 2:30. 2 hours, 30 minutes. Hopefully I can well, not hopefully. I'm not in a rush because I can't even find a place to park the shit that I got now. But you know, if it ain't meant to be, it ain't meant to be, bro. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and, you know, double text the idiot who accidentally blocked me or whatever the case was. But, you know, it is what it is. It's his loss. And I get to save money. So I hope this stream does well. And what I mean by does well is that they keep it up on the, because what happens is when I stop the stream, I guess YouTube goes through its analyzing process of however long it takes to go through the whole stream and make sure there's no bullshit on here or shit that they don't like, which is like, you know, heavy breathing and, you know, too much eye blinks and shit like that. So you got to make sure that's all good to go and whatnot. And then after a day or so, it'll be officially up for anybody, any late viewers or whatever, to view the shit. So that's what I was wondering. Why I keep clicking? I'm supposed to be off of this, but I'm still clicking. Like for some reason, like this right here, this seems like a pretty solid deal, you know? Like for some reason, a nice, reliable diesel. Even I'm not saying this truck right here specifically, but a nice, reliable diesel may be worth it, you know? But I don't know, bro. It's just for some reason it's kind of hard to justify like aftermarket shit. Like, oh, these wheels are on here, so this is gonna raise the price of the actual, you know. It's like, nah, man, nah, bro. You can't like okay, I get it. You wasted all this money and put all this aftermarket shit on the vehicle, but this has nothing to do with the actual value of it, you know, the wheels and the lights and whatever else you put on your shit, dude, you know. It's probably worth more if you just left the shit stock, because at least then it would be, I don't know, to more reliable to an extent or whatever. Yeah, like this right here, bro. Come on, man. This is exactly what I was talking about. Shout out to the 2002 Taurus. And Terrell, I'm probably about to go to sleep after this, so I don't know if I'll be able to meet you up there. See that too. This is exactly what I was talking about right here. Look, I was literally, Tomball, Texas right here. I was literally just talking about this like just now before I stopped talking and looked at the chat. This is obviously not factory right here, right? This lift and these wheels and shit. But then you're still trying to justify 40 grand for a truck with, I've seen that 184,000 miles on this shit, dude. That's impressive as fuck. I don't know how the fuck you got that in under like 6 years. That's crazy. But there's no way, dude. 40 grand for this shit. Like, and look at the swirl, infested with swirl marks, like a rash or some type of disease or something. Look at that shit. That is great. Look, you can't even find the plastic piece that goes on this part of the tailgate right here, dude. Holy shit, dude. At least give me that part, man. Like 40 grand for this shit is crazy, dude. 200,000 miles on this shit and you want 40 grand. Talking about some fair deal. All right, bro. Yeah, bro, that's about as fair as it's gonna get, bro. Yeah, that's a fair deal, all right. That is definitely a fair deal. Can't do that. Although I might fall in love with some you might win me over with some chrome wheels like this, like actual chrome wheels like that, even though those are ugly as shit. But like actual chrome wheels, just they look really nice, bro. You want to see the actual 74,000 miles, 26 grand. The overall quality looks pretty nice. Looks like a pretty decent, like your average Silverado, at least 2018. I mean, I think this is a great deal. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. For the first time in forever, I'll actually agree with CarGurus and be like, yeah, this is a pretty good deal. Still try to pay cash for that shit though, because it's not worth making payments. But either way, you know. Oh, and this is like, I didn't even know they still put this legendary, beautiful motor. I don't know why the fuck I don't have one of these motors yet, but we're working on that. We're working on this 4.6, 2009 Mustang right here, bro. I had so many little model cars of these as a kid, bro. This exact generation of Mustang. Now all this shit is ugly as shit. I'm not even gonna lie to you right here. All that right there can go. Whatever these little fake plastic lowers and shit is. Look at that shit, dude. It's a supercharged too, isn't it? Damn, that's not a regular 4.6 liter V8. But either way, though, as long as it's a 4.6 liter V8, we're good. We're, you know, and how many miles on it? 55,000 miles for 20 grand. Look like some type of collector's, a little bit, not really, but you know, not bad though. I like the cross member bars right here. That looks pretty heavy duty. The intake looks pretty cool, you know. This 300 horsepower. Yeah, so this is definitely some type of upgraded. Obviously, I mean, this is not a regular looking 4.6, but either way though, that's a nice one right there. I mean, 20K, I guess it's a good deal. That's not really like this is not a, if you're looking for this is more like a fun purchase right here. You know, this is not really like a car you're looking for like, oh, it's a good deal or not. This is kind of like I mean, it's a supercharged Mustang. It's probably not even factory. So, you know, you can't really justify the price on that. Not really. Because motherfuckers aren't always looking for a Mustang to, you know, nobody can really even handle them in the first place, bro. All the cars spinning out and shit. All the Mustangs spinning out. Nobody can even handle the shit. It's like, dude, come on, dude. It don't even really matter anyway, bro. But I guess I should start probably looking at the location too, because not a fan of Mopar, Chrysler, whatever, even though I sold them brand new. Except these look really nice when it's all color matched and shit like that. Well, this is about as color matched as you can get when you come to a Jeep. And they ruined this whole thing with this ugly ass bumper in the front. They should have just left the stock one and all that shit. But I can't even get a closer look at it. Yeah, we know it's a plastic Jeep. Even though I am impressed on how, I'm quite impressed on how they made they made a new generation without really changing too much stuff up. Like, I like how it's like subtle, you know, changes like in the grill. Like, this is you know, I know, weirdly enough, I actually accept this from like when this came out 2018, this next generation of Wranglers. I accept this as more of a new generation than like the 2020 to the 2021 F-150, you know, like when they were like, oh, it's a completely, you know, I was not impressed at all, because like I was expecting, you know, from Ford, you expect shit like what we seen with the 2014 to the 2020 to the 2014 F-150 to the 2015 F-150. Completely different truck from the tires up, like from the cement up. It was a brand new truck. That's what I was expecting from Ford, but they just kind of disappointed the fuck out of me with this most recent generation of F-150s from 2021 to now. But you know, it's whatever though. They don't really have to. I mean, it's kind of hard to change something that's already perfect, right? It's what it is. Anyway, that front bumper is ugly as shit. They could at least color match that shit too. But as far as a good deal, I don't think any Wrangler is a good deal because they're always overpriced as shit. You know, they you know, you pay basically 50 grand for something that's already got 12,000 miles on it. It's, you know, and it's a V6 Chrysler. We already know how those things play out, but you know, it is what it is though. What the fuck is a biodiesel? That's crazy. I used to be a sales porter at a couple of dealerships, and we drove a lot of shit like this for some reason. 134,000 miles is crazy. I don't even know how that thing could still even move after that kind of mileage, but and it shit like this too. These were a lot of loaner cars right here. Yep. Shit like this too. Drove a lot of shit like this. You know what I'm saying? This is basically the dream package right here. It only 2 changes: if it had a 6-foot bed, or just give me the extendo cab with the 6-foot bed. I don't care about the space in the interior. You know, I actually want a truck to actually be a real truck. You know, nowadays this is what people want, of course, because they care more about the room in here than right here. Like I already explained earlier, but yeah, I mean, I'd rather have a 6-foot bed over. I mean, I care about what's going on back here more than here. At the end of the day, you know, you can drive around with your unsecure load all you want to, but I'm gonna go ahead and take that 6-foot, 7-foot bed any day of the week. I'd rather have that. 20,000 miles. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, I would take this. Only changes I would make is the 6-foot bed, and then the at least the 5.0 in there. Shit, I'd even take a 4.6, even though obviously they don't, you know, I get 2023, but yeah, like white with these, well, these wheels are all right. Limited though, yep. Is that blue color on the inside too? Yeah, yep. Perfect, bro. That's all you need right there. That's all you need. But yeah, what else? It's pretty much the most common card. You know, this is basically like the default page for Car Gurus right here, and this is like all these random dealerships got 424 cars posted on it. Well, I don't know if that's the entire website, but either way though, I'm not specifically looking for an actual car. I'm just kind of like, I'm just looking at the car market in general and just seeing how, I mean, this debt fascinates me. You know, I've been learning about debt for real now after having it for so long, and just stupidness. It's just like debt is a really fascinating topic to research and actually figure out why it even exists in the first place, bro. You know, because not even just car debt, bro. It's just like real estate debt. Like there's a difference between the asking price tag on something and the actual value, like it's worth. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why shit is so fucking expensive these days is because society expects you to be on that dual income household type shit, you know? Like you got to be partner with somebody type shit, which is it's a more common thing than it's a more common lifestyle than somebody who's solo by themselves, you know, shit like that. So they're expecting, that's why houses and cars, basically shit, anything has an inflated price tag for no reason, you know. It's because of shit like that, dual income shit. Oh, you got a partner in crime in life and shit like that, so you'd be fine anyway, right? Now y'all will definitely be able to afford it together, if not by yourself. And I just think that is such a weak way to look at anything in life, bro. It's just weak as shit, dude. So what's even the point, bro? You know what I'm saying? All right, we'll damn, it's already 7:30. All right, like, let me see, what page are we on right now? Because I'm not even really like, I'm just whatever catches my eye. All right, we do like 3 more pages. 3 more pages, and that's it. Because I like this one. This one's actually kind of cool right here. That's not even a fair deal, dude. 6.2 liter V8 in this shit. I'm not really familiar with Mercedes, but 07, at least it's better than a new one. At least it's better than a new one, I would say. But, and once again, you're kind of like, you know, 112,000 miles. You know, I think those cars are still computerized and modern enough to have like the computer systems in there where if something's wrong, you probably can't even drive the car. I don't know. Maybe. just kind of guessing at this point, but and I don't know. So that'd probably be something you buy cash if you really wanted it. I could barely imagine like financing 20 grand these days, dude, because it's like, especially with like, say, you walk out the door 20 grand, but you got like 9 to 7% interest rate, bro. That's actually like, I know my math a little bit off, but that's damn near like 35 grand, really, to be honest with you. If you just keep making the minimum payments and shit. It's like, fuck that shit, you know? But it's only gonna get worse, bro. It's only gonna get worse. Look at this new Toyota right here, dude. 36 grand firm out the door. As if that would actually be the price, that'd actually be oh, never mind. I was looking at the 32,000 miles. I was gonna say that's actually will be a nice deal, but ooh, look at what we got right here though, bro. Okay, let's just, and what's underneath it as well. Reserve now. That's how many people are attracted to this shit. So just say if you had 85, bro. If you had 85 grand, would it be worth it for a useless ass 2018 G-Wagon with with 31,000 miles? At least you got a 5.5 liter V8 that nobody knows about, and probably only the Mercedes dealership can even deal with that shit. With 563 horsepower, or you can get yourself a little bit more of a practical, for the most part, diesel, Denali Limited, 23,000 miles, 470 horsepower. That shit doesn't matter. The horsepower doesn't matter really much on the diesel. The torque is where it's at, which I'm sure it's probably almost doubling this shit. But damn, wow. I mean, paying out cash too? Yeah, I probably definitely have to go with this shit. I've always thought the G-Wagon was just a ridiculous looking vehicle. I just don't understand why. I don't understand the hype in that thing, dude. I don't get it. Why is it so expensive? I don't know. But this shit right here, I've kind of always adored General Motors trucks because they find a way to like put their own little taste and styling into them for the most part. Like all these upright curves and boxy wheel arches and shit like that. I think that's pretty cool. These mirrors, I love the shit that everybody says is ugly. These towing mirrors right here, I think they look awesome, dude. They look like a Lego stacked on the top of another longer Lego, and then a big ass block right here. Laptop, I love that shit, dude. I love how it just looks like some bunny ears or some shit like that. It's different, bro. As long as it's different, I like it. You know, it looks more like a, you know, General Motors always knows how to, like, especially with their trucks, they, you know, this is not like your regular round wheel arch. It's just your, you know, it's actually more like a upright, like a kind of like a box, but not really. You got more lines and ragged and edges and shit like that to make the truck look a lot tougher than whatever. You know what I'm saying? I like that this dark chrome too. This is really nice as well too. Even though I'd still go rock with Ford all day long. And then this too, I think this is another thing that GM only does by themselves. These little lights right here on the wheel arches. Even for like, this is not a dually and it still has these. I think that's pretty cool too. I don't think anybody else does that, but they're always nice. Like when the heavy duty Silverado came out a couple years ago, it looks like it's an upside down face and everybody hated it. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I was like, damn, that shit looks like a Tesla type shit, you know? If you hate it, I love it. I think that is is cool. It's they always kind of, you know, every truck pretty much looks the same nowadays. And the way General Motors is able to kind of keep theirs still looking somewhat different from the rest is actually pretty impressive. Seeing how, you know, engineers are struggling to come out with different looks and ideas and shit for these cars nowadays. It's like, fuck, dude, what do we do, bro? You know what I'm saying? Check out Express Auto Auction here in San Diego, California. That's actually a good idea, bro. I'll probably check out some auctions because one of the homies is trying to get me hooked on that shit. I still don't trust it though, because he just bought a car that I said that I wanted. He bought that shit from an auction to try to double flex on me. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and check out those auctions, bro, because he's like, look, I bought this car. You talk about you wanted this car, and I bought it from an auction, and it still came out nice. And I'm like, oh, that's how you feel? That's how you trying to do? All right, don't even worry about it, bro. But anyway, yeah, I'll check out I'm actually gonna take a picture of that. Matter of fact, actually, I got you tomorrow, bro. It's almost 8 o'clock already. That's crazy. But where we at? Why are we on this Ford Explorer in Florida? This last one, even though I know this is probably like the third, this is the fourth page, even though I said I was only probably gonna do 3. I lost count, but this is gonna be the last one for real. See, look at that. This is just destined to be, bro. It don't even really, at this point, to me, it doesn't even matter what car this motor is in. As long as it's this shit right here, it's got to be. It's got to be something like this right here. I hope this is not a. I can already see it's a convertible, so I don't want it. But is it a manual? Yep, it's a manual. Okay, at least it's that. But a pretty clean looking car too. I hate the color. That shit is ugly as fuck. But either rear wheel drive too. They're all rear wheel drive, obviously. I mean, but 41,000 miles. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good. I think that's a fair deal. I think 13 grand or something like that would be pretty. Would be a lot more on point with that. But either way though, that's cool though. You know. No, not bad on the price. Well, for nowadays at least, it's not bad at all. But you know, I still wouldn't even fuck with any type of like payments and nothing like that. Cool. So at least we got 24 views. I don't know how long it was. Well, at least we got 24 views throughout this stream. Right, for about basically 3 hours. That's crazy. I didn't want to go this long, but it is what it is. And as soon as I said I was about to leave, motherfuckers started dropping out. But it's cool. You know, I appreciate you guys sticking around as long as you did. At least looks like, you know, our average was about 30 minutes, and that's pretty damn good, at least for somebody who doesn't stream at all, pretty much. And I got the same thumbnail as the previous stream. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully this one survives. Like I said, it's got to go through the check list or process or whatever YouTube does. So appreciate you guys for watching. And yeah, I'm out of here. That's about it.